The Rocklin Thunder will have to figure out how to get it done tonight without their starting quarterback, Tiger Sorensen. It may mean a lot of touches for running back Jackson Cummings, a guy that has scored 8 touchdowns in just 2 games. It's no secret what Los Lomas head coach Doug Longero's strategy will be tonight. Simply get the ball to Deontay Jackson, one of the best players in all of Northern California. Find out which Jackson can lead his team to victory tonight on Comcast. We're at Los Lomas High School in Walnut Creek for Friday night football action here on Comcast. And tonight we've got a great matchup for you. The Rocklin Thunder all the way from the Sierra foothills to take on one of the Bay Area's best, the Los Lomas Knights. Hello everyone, I'm Dave Cox along with Eric Davis. And when you come all the way from Rocklin, you've got to be excited to play in the Bay Area. But Los Lomas has been one of the most consistent schools over the last few years. Should be a great football game tonight.
Well, you know, with either two solid football, big-time football programs, high school football programs, so expect a good game tonight.
And it's been a tough week for the Rocklin Thunder. They lost last week to Nevada Union, lost their starting quarterback Tiger Sorensen in the process, so emergency call goes out to the JV squad, and Jimmy Lockray will make his first varsity start tonight. The sophomore quarterback taking the helm. He's got to be feeling it.
Well, you know what? He's probably a little nervous getting his first start on television, but the coaching staff expects him to play well. And part of the reason they expect him to have a good game tonight is because he can hand the ball off to his running back, Jackson Cummings. Jackson Cummings is the offense for these guys. He scored all of their touchdowns and all but one of their extra points. So expect to see the ball in his hands and try and keep it from the explosive offense of Los Lomas.
Yeah, for good reason, because Los Lomas has a gentleman by the name of Deontay Jackson, one of the best in the entire country, probably the best we'll see all year on Comcast. This guy is an awesome athlete.
Well, you know, Deontay Jackson is coming off a 19-touchdown season in 2007. He already has 3 touchdowns this year. He stands head and shoulders above the rest of the guys out there. He has almost 20 scholarship offers already. So expect to see this guy get the ball in his hands and do some good things, and I think Rocklin's going to have a hard time stopping him.
Well, no doubt about it. So it's the Sac Joaquin section against the North Coast section here tonight on Friday night. The cheerleaders will be out in force here below Mount Diablo tonight on Comcast. It's the Thunder and the Knights coming up next.
For many kids, the hours after school are a time to get in trouble. But for our kids at After School All-Stars, it's a time to get ahead.
She always has a smile on her face. I made a lot of friends.
I get really excited.
I like to do art. I never thought I'd be this good at computers.
Now I want to be a teacher.
It makes me happy when I can throw a boy.
At After School All-Stars, we help kids succeed in school and life.
Welcome back to You Might Think DirecTV has more HD than Comcast, but you're wrong. Red Team, you're up. Here's your category. HD programs in Chicago at 7:12 p.m. Which has more HD options, DirecTV or Comcast?
The red team should know that Comcast has more HD in any city at any time.
DirecTV? You might think DirecTV has more HD than Comcast. Oh, but you're wrong.
Remember, Comcast always has more HD. We'll be right back.
My mom's my hero. My mom's my hero because she saved the baby bird that fell out of the nest. She taught me how to swim. She cooks on the grill sometimes. My mom's my hero because she took the pledge to smoke outside. Now no one can smoke anywhere in our house.
Until you can quit, take the pledge to make your home smoke-free. Protect your kids from asthma attacks, ear infections, and other respiratory illnesses. Call 1-866-SMOKE-FREE. Go out for your kids. You're their hero.
We need to talk. I'm just not satisfied. You're slow, you're forgetful, and you're a little, small. I want more. Faster, a bigger, and tons of, well, you understand. I'm sorry, baby, but I thought you should know.
When the time comes to move on, make sure you recycle your old computer. Visit erecycle.org to find out more.
All right, welcome back to George DeClotz Stadium as we get set for the kickoff tonight. Let's check in with our sideline reporter, Cheyenne. Balderrama.
Well, as you guys mentioned, Jimmy Lockrey is taking the role of QB tonight, and he is quite nervous. The sophomore said on a scale about 1 to 10, he's reaching nerves about a 7 or 8. He didn't know tonight's game was broadcast, so now he's reaching nerves probably about a 10 or 15. His team has really embraced him. They said he's done really well in practice this week. They believe in him. Tonight's question will be, does Jimmy believe in himself?
Well, yeah, that's one of the things the coaches kind of keep from you a little bit. No, the game's not on TV tonight. Don't worry. Everything's cool. And you get to the Bay Area, and all of a sudden there's cameras all over the place, and people are asking you questions. So, you know, it's going to be interesting. But they really, as you mentioned, Eric, they think very highly of this young man. They think he's got the mentality to run their offense, and they expect him to do well. The opening kickoff travels deep to the 10-yard line, and the return goes out to the 27-yard line, and that is where the Rocklin Thunder will start their offense. On the return, Eric D'Amico, good solid player for them, and now Jimmy Lockrey will take his first varsity snap for the Rocklin Thunder. He'll be wearing number 11 tonight, and that was a little bit of a story during the week because they did not have a jersey for Mr. Lockrey coming in. They had the players actually buy their jerseys this year so they could keep them after the season, and they didn't think far enough ahead to get a couple of extra QB numbers. So they had to shift a few guys around, make sure they had a low number for Mr. Lockrey, and everything worked out just fine. 4 receivers to the near side. Lockrey going to the air, loses the football. It is picked up by Tommy Knott, and Tommy Knott returns it down inside the 10-yard line.
Well, I hate to say it, Mr. Lockrey, but welcome to big boy football. You're going to see right here on the replay, he didn't want to get it out on the first pump, and he'll understand when you take a short drop like that, the game's going to move a little bit faster on a 3-step drop, and the D linemen are going to get to you. He's going to have to protect the ball right there, but he got his first snap and his first fumble, and, you know, welcome to big boy football.
Wow, tough start. Tommy Knott ends up with the football in his hands and sets up the Los Lomas offense with a 1st and goal. Lucas Gorton, their quarterback, starts with a spread formation and movement along the line. I believe they're going to catch a Rocklin player for jumping, so a very, very tough start for the Thunder. And Steve Corrigan, our referee, will make his first call of the evening. So things go from bad to worse. Lucas Gorton's had a good season at quarterback so far for Los Lomas. They are 2-1. He's completed 52% of his passes, only a couple of interceptions. We see Greg Benzel on the other side of the field in his 10th season here at Rocklin. It's a fairly new school in that area, and he's done a nice job with this program, getting them playoff ready year in and year out. There's Doug Longero, also has had some great success here at Los Lomas High School. They've been in the playoffs year in and year out. Gorton on a keeper. Gets down to about the 1-yard line. He's hit by Steve Hurley. They expect Hurley to have a big game tonight. They really need him to play well, especially with Jackson on the outside, and he saves the touchdown right here.
You know, nice vision by Gordon on this, but you know what? This is an excellent tackle right here by Steve Hurley. He's the guy that the coaching staff of Rocklin is expecting to come in and play well tonight. They know they're going to need him to be the leader in that secondary if they have any chance of stopping Deontay Jackson.
There is Lucas Gordon, just a junior. He's got 5 touchdown passes so far this year. Straight ahead it goes into the middle of that line. Austin Pomerantz carrying, and Los Lomas gets on the board. Now, pretty nice when your first drive comes from inside the 10-yard line, and it's one of those situations early in the football game. Your coach will say, you got to make good on this. You got to put some points on the board, and they do it easily.
Well, you know what? This is just a straight power dive right up in the middle of the Rocklin defense, and that is not the way they wanted to start the game. They really wanted to have some ball control and give the quarterback a chance to get his feet under him.
Matt Carter to add the point, greeted by flags and whistles.
Well, I tell you what, Dave.
On the offense.
I tell you what, if the young quarterback was nervous his first snap as a varsity football player, just wait until his second one.
Yeah, I think he just went off the charts on that one. Well, Backwater's up now. Be a 25-yard extra point. Gorton is the holder. Waters has plenty of leg for that, so Las Lomas on the board first. After the turnover, Austin Pomerantz gets the touchdown at 7-0.
As we go again round the stars and their friends, loving me, come on.
Now is the time to join together to protect our world, or we could lose all it gives us. To learn how you can help, call for your free World Wildlife Fund Action Kit at 1-800-CALLWWF. Together, we can be a force for nature.
Comcastic Labs high-speed internet field test. Introduction of Power Boost. We never stop making fast, faster. Comcast high-speed internet with Power Boost.
So tough start for Rocklin. Las Lomas seems pretty much thrilled about the way this football game has started, greeting their visitors from the Sierra foothills rather rudely with a fumble and then a touchdown. Matt Carter will kick it off now. Hurley and D'Amico back deep. And it's going to be D'Amico again, this time from the 7-yard line, looking for blocking. And he chugs out to about the 31-yard line. Taken down by Tommy Knott. Tommy Knott already picked up a fumble and now makes a tackle on the special teams. And so we'll try this all over again with Jimmy Lockray.
Well, they may want to turn around and hand the ball off to Jackson Cummings and just let the young quarterback get his breathing down, because I think he's probably having heart palpitations right now.
I know they had the first 10 plays scripted, and within those 10 plays, they wanted to give him some confidence, run a few short pass routes, get him to complete a couple throws, but they may scrap that, and like you say, just give the ball to Jackson a couple times. I believe it's Hurley that carries this time, not much doing there. Check it, that's actually Daniel Lassard. He's their pound-it running back, the guy that they just try to get between the tackles as we see the offensive line. Baroni and Bevan are some real good players along that offensive line. And then the backs and receivers for them. We've talked a lot about Cummings, but Holden Huff is a very good wide receiver. Scott Pulaski also a very capable guy in their offense. Holden Huff at 6'6", he's a junior. We'll try to get the ball up in the air to him. This time they swing it out to Cummings, and Jackson Cummings splits the defense and gets close to a first down. So there's that high percentage pass play. Not a bad idea. At an 8-yard pickup, you see the defensive line. Darren Thompson very good at getting after the quarterback, along with Morgan Breslin, and then Tommy Knott. We've already seen him make a big play, but Morello also very good in the middle there, and then Lundgren, Pomegrantz, Tansen, and Deontay Jackson actually goes both ways for this team. So we'll see Jackson and Jackson button heads a little bit tonight. You can bet on that. 8-yard pickup that time for Jackson Cummings on the pass play, and this time there's nothing doing as the Las Lomas defense is there.
Las Lomas is playing extremely strong at the point of attack right now. They're changing the line of scrimmage and pushing all the guys from the Rocklin offensive line back into their backfield, and there's just nowhere for the running back to go on that play.
Looks like they were tempted to perhaps go for this one on 4th and short, but now they scrapped that idea, and they will punt the football. Holden Huff is a very good punter, so he'll occasionally really get off a beauty, blast one. Deontay Jackson drops back deep for Las Lomas to receive, so perhaps we'll see Deontay Jackson get his hands on the football right here. Decent kick. Jackson might have touched that. I'm not so sure. It looked like somebody might have put a hand on that, but Rocklin certainly thinks so as they pick it up and try to advance the ball. Scott Pulaski, but the officials are going to say no, it's Las Lomas' ball at about the 22-yard line. It looked like for a second he might have put his hand out and just nipped it.
You know, it was so close that Scott Pulaski did the right thing. You know what? I'm just going to pick it up, and I'm going to make the make the referee make the call. I'm going to get in the end zone, and we'll talk about it then.
So 1st and 10, Las Lomas. The Rocklin defense very pleased to have a little field to work with this time as we see Jackson come out to the near side. They will have a lot of attention on this young man. They'll have somebody hitting him at the line, and Jackson Cummings is going to play deep pretty much all night and try to keep him from getting behind the defense. Gorton to throw. He's in trouble, and he is sacked at the 19-yard line. Nice defensive play right up front. Brandon Baroni, he's got the motor on this team, and he is absolutely a force as we see Gorton's numbers on the season. That's a loss of 4. Brandon Baroni leads his team in tackles coming into tonight with 15 on the season. They're 1-1, beat Oak Ridge off the top 27-7, and then a tough loss last week to Nevada Union. The Miners beat them by 7 at Nevada Union, and it was a very tough game for Rocklin. Gorton to the air, and that one thrown behind his intended target, which is Michael Braswell, and it will be 3rd and long.
Now, this is the type of defense the Rocklin coaching staff was talking about starting.
Here is the offensive line, the guys that will have to protect him tonight. Lind is very good at that right guard position. And then here are the backs and receivers. Thompson also does a nice job catching the football from his tight end position. And Marquise Waters is a very good young running back. He is just a sophomore, but he's already run for 184 yards and 2 touchdowns this season for Las Lomas. So if indeed Rocklin can shut down the pass, look for Waters to have a big game tonight as Las Lomas goes to the spread here on 3rd down. This pass is complete, and it is a 1st down for Darren Thompson. Thompson out to the 35-yard line. That's a pickup of 15 yards.
Darren Thompson is a very good receiver, and this is what makes it so tough when you're going against Rocklin, when they have 2 solid receivers. Right there, you see a great throw, and you see him using his big body to catch the ball in the slant, and that's one that he just wants to catch it in stride and try and get the yards after the catch, and he was able to get the 1st down.
We've seen Baroni already, and then Huff also plays on that defensive line. The linebackers are very good. Lassard and Sobrin will have to have big games tonight, and there's the secondary. They will try and control Deontay Jackson as Waters carries for the first time out to the 41-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 yards for Marquise Waters. Las Lomas started off playing Mitty, and they won that game, but they felt like they could have really blown Mitty out. Mitty from the West Catholic Athletic League, but they did win it, had to hang on at the end. Then they played Cal High, and they had some opportunities, couldn't finish some drives, and lost that one. Cal High, a very good team again this year. Last week against Northgate, a blowout, 42-0. 2nd and 4 for the Knights from the 41-yard line. Rocklin trying to shut down this high-powered offense. And Gorton will roll to his left. Throws it deep. Jackson is out there, and he's got it. Dropped the football after he was knocked out of bounds, but you see the problem the defense has. They had him pretty well covered that time. 2 guys in the area, but he's 6'3". They couldn't keep him from jumping up for the football.
Right now, you just see a good throw by Gorton, and the rest of this play is just simply made by Duntarius Jackson right here. He is just going to get up, get his hands on the ball with 2 defenders right there. Not bad coverage. You know what? On that one, he was just better than those 2 guys on that play, and that's the problem they're going to have all night. We talked about in the opening that they were going to have a tough time covering this guy, and you see it right there.
2nd first down for the Knights. Here comes Waters, and Baroni has him. Gain of just a couple. Brandon Baroni is a wrestler for this Rocklin school. They really encourage their kids to play other sports. A lot of schools nowadays, they put a lot of pressure on the kids because they have year-round opportunities with weightlifting and spring football. And a lot of coaches really try to get their guys to concentrate on one sport. At Rocklin, they encourage guys to play 2 and even 3 sports at times.
Well, you know what? It does a couple of things. It keeps the guys in shape and also keeps them out of trouble.
No question about that. Second and 8. Las Lomas inside Rocklin territory. They hand it off to Deontay Jackson this time, and out of the backfield, he gets 3 yards. Kind of an interesting play. Elliott Thompson making his 5th tackle of the year. So one way or another, they're going to try to get the ball to Jackson tonight.
And you know, and this is not a bad job of this guy using his ability and vision just to get inside and make a little something out of nothing. They had it well defense, but he was able to just put some moves on the guys and still get it downhill to gain a few yards.
We have our first timeout. Well, the opening drive for Las Lomas, a successful one as they got the ball inside the 10-yard line after the fumble. And then Tommy Knott scooping that one up, gets it down to about the 9-yard line, and then a couple plays later, Pomerantz just pushes right over the pile. And you can look for them to go behind Snook and Elias Araujo a lot tonight. Those are the two guys on the left side, both juniors, but both very good offensive linemen. Doug Longero says the one problem with this team this year is depth. He likes his skill position guys. He likes the guys that he has to get the job done, but they can't afford to have a lot of injuries. They've got to stay healthy this year, and they've got to keep improving the backup guys so that when North Coast section playoff time comes along, they can have a little bit of added depth late in the season. Now, they've won 6 times. They've been in the championship, 6 times. They've won 4 NCS titles in the 10 years that Coach Longero has been here. So that's some pretty darn good success for this team. He knows how to get it done. 3rd down coming up for Las Lomas. And Gordon to throw. He's got a little pressure, gets it off in time, and Jackson is wide open over the middle. He gets to the 20-yard line. It's a pickup of 10 yards and another 1st down as Jackson picks apart the defense. You kind of have to pick your poison. That time they played a real loose blanket-type coverage, kept him in front.
Well, what they did on this play, they played zone coverage, but Deontay and the quarterback both had the proper read. He sat down in a hole within the defense, and then once he got the ball, you just saw the burst to get the positive yardage after the catch.
So moving the football now down to the 20-yard line of Rocklin. Las Lomas on their 2nd possession of the night with just under 5 minutes and 20 seconds to go in the 1st quarter. Motion man, they give it to Waters, and a nice play defensively that time. Is making the hit is Daniel Lassard, the middle linebacker. 14 tackles on the season. He's a 5'10", 195-pound junior. They need him to have a very big game tonight. If they can stop the run successfully, then that will be at least half of the offense that they won't have to contend with as much.
Well, they're really going to have to shut the run down, because if they don't make it a one-dimensional game, then it doesn't matter if they try and double Deontay Jackson. They're going to have to stop the running game cold to have an opportunity to take that guy away.
Jackson goes into the slot. 3 to the far side, 2 to the near side for Gordon. Jackson on a little short one. Lassard can't keep him from getting the football, and he breaks 2 tackles and scoots into the end zone for his first touchdown of the night. 20 yards on that one, most of it after the catch.
Well, Deontay is showing that he is, well, he's as good as advertised. On that play, there were several Rocklin Thunder players that had an opportunity to get him on the ground, and he just simply deboed those guys. He just ran all over them. He catches the ball in stride, but right here you're going to see there are 3 players that have an opportunity to get him, and they just stood no chance on that one. He was not going to be denied the end zone.
Matt Carter pops it through, and Las Lomas looks tough tonight. They're on top 14-0. They got it done with their defense. Now they get it done with their man, Deontay Jackson, little short hitch route. And we talked about this before the game tonight. The problem for Rocklin is they don't have a Deontay Jackson to try to simulate in practice. It's 14-0 Las Lomas.
When people are depressed, where do they go? Depression is a debilitating disease. Over time, its effects can get worse and worse. In fact, untreated depression will claim the lives of thousands of adults this year. Fortunately, science and medical research have proven treatments are effective, which means there is a way out of depression. Visit depressionisreal.org.
Hey, Jim, what are you doing inside the panther cage?
I'm not in the panther cage. You're in the panther cage.
Some serious scratch. Sign up for Comcast Digital Voice for just $29.99 a month for 6 months. Get home phone service like you're used to at a far lower price, with popular calling features and voicemail. Just call 1-800-COMCAST today. Comcast Digital Voice. It's Comcastic.
So Deontay Jackson, as advertised, off to a good start tonight. Feeling confident here on Friday night in Walnut Creek.
He has no reason to not feel confident. I think they're going to have a difficult time finding any type of defense to stop him tonight.
D'Amico, this time from the 2. Gets a nice block from the wedge and gets out to near the 30-yard line. And we started to talk about this. They don't have a Deontay Jackson to work against in practice, so you can look at it on tape and you can draw the X's and O's up, but until you really see the speed and the size, it's hard to simulate.
Yeah, absolutely. You can't simulate this during the practice. The X's and O's don't move on paper, and once those guys realize that X is just a little stronger than the O's that they put around him, there's nothing you can do. Right there, they had 4 guys responsible for him during that play, and all 4 of those guys were beaten badly.
So Rocklin in a little bit of a hole, but don't expect the Thunder to go away quietly here tonight. This is a very proud program, and they know how to win football games. This pass is dropped out in space. Garth Keffer. Keffer is also the backup quarterback here tonight and actually took the helm after the injury to Tiger Sorensen last week, and the coaches really praised Garth for his courage last week. He gave them an opportunity to win that game last week, and they came up just short.
Well, the game could not have started in a worse fashion for Rocklin. The coaching staff were hoping that they could come out, get some drives going, and keep the game close. That hasn't happened so far.
Hurley goes in motion for the Thunder on 2nd and 10. Pitch it out to Jackson Cummings, and look at the push by Las Lomas defensively, and Cummings loses a couple of yards. Wow. All kinds of red jerseys around that time. John Greer was the first man on the scene from his defensive line position. Well, he turned him up.
Well, Tommy Knott just decided that there was no way this play was happening during his watch. He just lined up on the left side and just held the line of scrimmage and was not going to get outflanked on that play. And there was no way. That was Gear that decided, no way you guys are getting around me on that one.
Greer, very solid player. He was out last week, so they are very fortunate to have him back this week for this Rocklin football game. The passing situation here on 3rd down. Lockray fires it in, and it is dropped. Wow, Sky Mills can't hang on, and right now, I'll say what, the quarterback's throwing some pretty good balls here his last couple, and his guys aren't helping him out.
Well, for a young quarterback to come out after with all the pressure that's happening, his last 2 balls have been right on target. They have to help him out. The older guys have to step up and give this guy a chance to make some plays. He's putting it where it needs to be, because right there on that one, I mean, the ball hit him in a bad spot, right in the hands.
Man, got to have those, especially when you're down 14. So Deontay Jackson drops back deep. And Holden Huff will try and keep it away from him. Has to rush his kick, and it goes straight up in the air. Finally settles down near midfield, and Rocklin will down it there. So good pressure right now. Las Lomas winning this football game on a lot of different fronts. Skill position guys look very good, but definitely on the line of scrimmage, they're pushing the Thunder back.
Well, yes, they are playing this game on the Thunder's side of the line of scrimmage. It doesn't matter if they're on offense or defense. The ball is being played on Rocklin's side of the snap, and you can't win football games playing that way. They're going to have to be stronger at the point of the attack. They're going to have to be, stout on this stand, on this set of downs right here, and try and get the ball back to their offense. Because the young quarterback, as you said, he's not playing poorly. He's putting the ball where it needs to be. The guys just have to help him out.
Lucas Gorton to throw, and he's going for the home run, and Jackson can't catch up with this one. They really like this guy, Lucas Gorton. He's just a junior, but he did play on the varsity last year as a sophomore, and it's been very consistent for them, has great poise. And the interesting thing about Lucas Gorton is they said he is a musical genius, plays about 10 different instruments, and I'm sure the guys in the pep band were probably trying to recruit him for the pep band here at Las Lomas. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? They have a pretty good band. I mean, they were doing Ohio Player and Construction and all these songs that were out before they were even born. They had the Michael Jackson going. And, musical genius, maybe they are trying to get him out there. Or maybe he's the guy picking out the music for
There
him.
you go. I'm sure there was a recruiting battle when he was a freshman. What's he going to go, football or pep band? 2nd and 10. 70 yards in the air so far for Gorton, and this play may have taken them just a little too much time.
Six. Dead ball. False start on the offense. 5 yard line.
So that's going to back up Las Lomas 5 yards, and nothing has seemed to phase them so far tonight offensively. Rocklin just trying to get a stop That's the first step right here, and you can bet they've talked about that on defense. Jason Adams, the defensive coordinator here for the Rocklin Thunder, hoping to get that offense back on the field. Decent protection. Jackson has it, and he steps out at the 40-yard line, and that will be close to another Las Lomas first down.
Well, Rocklin has to take advantage of getting Las Lomas in these long yardage situations. On this one, it was a 2nd and 15, and they allowed him to get most of his yardage back. The last series, they had him in a 3rd and long, and they didn't get it done. So they're putting them in long yardage situations, but they have to come up with a play. And on that one, it was just another opportunity for Deontay Jackson to get open and move the chains for him, and they have to take advantage of the long yard situations.
3rd and short. Gorton will keep it, and he's got the first down to the 38-yard line. They like his mobility. He can do a lot of things. And I also think having a left-handed quarterback in high school is a big advantage, because so often you're working against a guy who rolls the other way, and it can kind of throw you off defensively a little bit early on in the football game.
And you know what? At any level, you're going to see that, all the way up into the NFL. Guys watching this game, I'm sure they remember Steve Young playing, and teams had a hard time with him when you're talking about professional players, because, like you said, you get accustomed to seeing everything going to your right side when you're on the field, and that's just the way it happens. And when you get a guy out there and he's throwing the ball backwards, everyone starts to step back and say, hey, what's going on?
So in Rocklin territory again, it's been a big first quarter for Las Lomas. Under 3 minutes to play in the opening quarter. Gorton with a late pitch to Waters. Well done. Waters has a first down and rumbles down inside the 25-yard line. And that is another first down, 14 yards. Waters' biggest run of the night.
Well, right now, Gordon did an excellent job of making the defense commit. That's what you want a quarterback to do on an option, and that's going to give Waters an opportunity to turn the corner, run strong, get his shoulders square, and just go north and south and gain more yards and move the chain again, get another first down.
So doing it in the air, doing it on the ground, Las Lomas currently ranked number 16 by the San Francisco Chronicle, and right now, I don't know, it's a pretty good-looking football team. Handed off to Chase Herring on the fly sweep. See a lot of high school football teams run that play, some better than others, but it's one of those plays that just kind of keeps the defense honest with that motion man, and Herring this time picks up 2 yards.
And Casey Sauberan did a great job of tracking that down the line of scrimmage and making that tackle on that play. He had to avoid a lot of garbage just to get through there and make that play, but he did not take his laser off of the running back and was able to make that tackle. That was a really good football play.
Las Lomas with a 2-touchdown advantage here in the first quarter, trying to add to that as they move the football well within Matt Carter's field goal range. He can hit him from about 45 yards away. Gorton looking for Jackson. Same play they scored on earlier, and this time Daniel Lassard wraps him up. The 5'10", 195-pound junior hanging on for dear life to Deontay Jackson. But this will move the chains again.
Daniel Lassard is going to have to deny the inside to Jackson on this play. There's no way once Jackson gets inside of him that he's going to be able to reach around him and make this play with a 6'3" guy with the long arm. So he's going to have to deny the inside, make him take the long route around the back of him, and I'm sure that's what he's been coached up to do. But right now, they're seeing that this athlete is a little better than the guy was at practice.
Gorton over the middle. It is caught. It's close to a touchdown. Hanging on to that, Darren Thompson, and they're saying he's in. Darren Thompson with his 3rd touchdown reception of the year. This one from 12 yards out.
Gordon is running his offense so methodically, it's starting to look machine-like, and everything is being, this pinpoint accuracy. He's putting the ball where he wants to, and even when the throw's a little late, his guys are making plays for him. That's what's going to have to happen on the Rocklin side. They're going to have to catch the balls when they come to him, but right now, these guys are just, it looks like a machine out there, and Rocklin's having trouble.
That kick is good. 1:20 left in the first quarter. And what a big night already for Las Lomas. And Rocklin right now, Eric, they've got to find some kind of an answer. They haven't even picked up a first down yet in this game. And they didn't come all the way from Rocklin to have this happen to them. You can bet there's going to be some fired up thunder on this next series.
Well, they're going to have to just settle down right now. You know what? You have the young quarterback, but he's doing his part. But the other guys are going to have to step up. You know, the young quarterback is not out there on defense allowing Jackson to catch these balls. He didn't give up his last touchdown catch. So what they're going to have to do offensively is just settle down, dig deep, and do the things that this offense has been doing. I mean, you have a running back out there that scored 8 touchdowns already. You got to, start blocking, create some holes, and let him start making some plays for you. But they have to stop the bleeding right now, or it's going to really get ugly.
Yeah, they could use a big return. As we see Darren Thompson hauling in that catch very nicely, getting in the end zone for the 3rd time this season for Las Lomas. Matt Carter will do the honors. He's been busy so far tonight. It's his 4th kickoff.
Got a sore foot.
Eric D'Amico from the 5-yard line behind the wedge. Gets a break, and D'Amico could go. Waters will try and chase him down. He's at the 30, the 20, the 10. No flags. Touchdown, Rocklin.
Dave, you must be psychic. That's the big play you were just talking about. They had to get it. They had to get it, and right now someone had to step up and make a play, and Eric D'Amico just decided, I'll be the guy. He just took the ball, and you know what? He's picking his way through the wedge, and he found an opening, and once he hit the sideline, he did his Usain Bolt imitation and just said, let's see if you can catch me. He started looking back just like Bolt. I got this one.
Great wheels down that sideline. I thought Waters was going to catch him, but Eric D'Amico says, no, I came to play tonight, and we are not going down this easily, folks. Jackson Cummings does a little bit of everything for the Rocklin Thunder. Try and add the point. That's the first touchdown, first point scored by somebody other than Jackson Cummings this year for Rocklin. Officials checking. They got 1 man short on the line for Las Lomas. You can see Eric D'Amico. I'm sure he's pleased, but he's not showing it right now because they're still down by 2 scores. He knows that's just the start of the comeback and what he needed to spark his team. High snap handled well, and Cummings puts it through. Wow, what a big return for Eric D'Amico behind the wedge. Made a couple nice cuts, Eric, and I was very impressed with his speed because Waters had the angle on him right here.
Yeah, Waters did have the angle on him, but like I said, he said, I'm going to do my Bolt imitation, and there's no way I'm going to be denied. That's a guy just stepping up, making a play, saying that someone has to get it done. But now give credit to the other 10 guys that were on their blocks. There was no holding. We talked about it in open. This is a disciplined football team, prideful football team, and plays like that don't happen unless the other 10 guys are out there covering their assignments, getting it done, making sure that the flags don't come out, and that right there is the type play that they're going to have to put together if they want to get back into this football game.
So a start for Rocklin as they get on the board. We've already seen 28 points put up in the first 11 minutes of this football game. And now Jackson Cummings will come out to do the kicking for the Rocklin Thunder. Hope you're enjoying our coverage here tonight on Comcast. Dave Cox and Eric Davis with you on a very nice evening here in the East Bay. Rocklin's got to bring back memories for you, Eric. I don't know if they're great memories or not, but the 49ers, of course, used to have their training camp there in Rocklin. I imagine it was pretty warm in August up in the Sierra foothills.
Beautiful Sierra College. I mean, everyone should vacation there. I'm surprised that they don't have like some type of resort there.
Timeshare or something. This kick is still live, and look at this. It's still alive. The ball rolling down inside the 5-yard line. Who's got it? I think Hurley might have dived on it for Rocklin, but it's going to probably change hands several times on the bottom of this pile. It almost went out of bounds at one point. Rocklin says, we've got it. The officials agree. It is Hurley who comes up with the football. Stephen Hurley and Rocklin's special teams have ignited the squad.
Smart football play. You're going to see a Rocklin player come down right now, and instead of trying to jump on the ball and not getting it, he knocks it back in bounds. You're going to see Stephen Hurley come down the field, and he's going to knock the ball in. If he jumps on it and his body's out, then the ball goes over to Los Lomas. But he comes down and decides, makes a smart play on the run and said, I'm just going to give my teammates a chance.
And then he recovered this somehow. Wow, what a play by Stephen Hurley. Here comes Jackson Cummings. And Cummings trying to dive for the end zone, doesn't quite get in. He picks up 4 yards.
People, I can't tell you how smart a play that was. That right there, I mean, this is an extremely smart play for a football player on any level, because a lot of guys, they see the ball and you've been coached and trained to jump on the ball, get on the ball. But he was smart enough and had his head in the right place so that he knew that I can't get this on the run. He knew it. I'm going to knock this in and let my teammates have a shot at it. Great play.
Can the sophomore Jimmy Lockray get his team in the end zone? He loses the handle. Lockray's going to try to run for the end zone, and he gets in. Jimmy Lockray and the Rocklin Thunder are alive and well here in Walnut Creek.
Look what I found. You know, that right there, this proves that a three-legged blind dog can find meat in a butcher shop from time to time. He found the ball and said, I'm going to do what I can do with it. This right here is just a playmaker. You know what? That play wasn't designed to go that way, but a football player gets it in his hands. He saw an opening and said, I'm just going to get into the end zone. They're back in the game.
And Lockray is a great athlete. He plays baseball and basketball, so he's not just a two-sport athlete. He's a three-sport guy here at Rocklin. And, boy, you know his heart was pumping when he saw that football on the turf, but he picks it up and gets in the end zone. And Rocklin, in less than a minute, scores 2 touchdowns, and they go from down 21-0 to down 21-14. What a comeback by the Rocklin Thunder.
Well, no sooner than we spoke about these guys coming out and making plays, they started doing it. I mean, we've seen 3 great football plays. I mean, from the kickoff return to the ensuing kick, you see Hurley come down and make a great play on it, and then right there, the quarterback, this young quarterback, instead of panicking and falling on that ball again, you know what? He stayed poised, just picked it up and said, you know what? I can beat these guys to the end zone, and now they're right back in this game. This is a good football game.
And their special teams have been unbelievable. Got to be impressed. Lyle West, the special teams coach, has got to be saying, coaches, what do you got for me? I just got us back in the football game. Now can our defense carry the momentum?
Well, you always, whenever you go on the road, you always have to pack your special teams. You have to count on your special teams. And right now, Rocklin has definitely shown up on special teams.
This is Sean Delfani who takes this kick, and he goes down at the 31-yard line. So Rocklin playing well now in every aspect of the game as Davis Spade makes that tackle in the open field. But they have yet to stop the Los Lomas offense. That's the thing that they've still got on their to-do list here tonight in the Bay Area, and we'll see if they can come up with a stop right here.
This is the most important drive of the night for this Rocklin defense. Right now, they need to come in and make a stand and say, okay, we're settling in and we're ready to get this stuff done.
Gorton will roll to the right. Tough throw going that way, and the football is dropped. So now all the little things that were going the other way have turned around. Now it's Los Lomas making a few mistakes, not picking up the open field kickoff, and now dropping the football.
Well, you know, Thompson was the guy that missed the quarterback. You know, he had contained on the rollout for the touchdown, you know, and right now is starting to, you know, creep into his head, maybe. You hope that doesn't happen, but, you know, Rocklin couldn't ask for a better situation right now. They have him in second and long. They need to see if they can get a stop. They need to put some relevance to these last few plays by stopping them on defense.
Should be the last snap of the first quarter. And what a crazy first quarter we have seen to the air. This one's caught by Chase Herring, and Herring gets out to the 49-yard line. A 16-yard pickup. Lucas Gorton continues to have success in the air. He's thrown for 124 yards in the first quarter. Deontay Jackson did his thing early on, but without a first down, Rocklin has come back as Jimmy Lockray gets them in the end zone and pulled to within 7 after the first quarter.
For people who have to deal with the harsh realities of life, there is hope. There is Volunteers of America. Volunteers of America serves the emotional, physical, and spiritual needs of more than 1.5 million people a year. Volunteers of America. There are no limits to caring. Find out how you can help. Call 1-800-899-0089 today.
Hey, do you know anything about Comcast HD? Not more than satellite, though, right? Really? Hey, do you mind grabbing me a coffee? No, just regular coffee, 2 sugars. Thanks.
More HD, more than satellite, more than anyone. Comcast HD. Now watch more exclusive HD content. Get Comcast HD with On Demand.
So many kids' activities today seem to leave out the activity part. New research tells us that just getting children to walk an extra 35 minutes a day could spare them the pain of thinning bones later in life. Encourage your kids to get up, get out, and get moving.
Hello. Hey, Grandma, how about another grape soda?
For more advice on how kids can build strong bones, visit AAOS.org, a public service message from the American Academy of Orthopedic Surgeons.
Well, a crazy first quarter, and yeah, people are already going to the snack bar saying, this is wearing me out, I got to get some energy. Great snack bar here at Las Lomas. Treated us very nicely here.
Not a bad cheeseburger.
I went with the Polish with chili. Well done. They did a nice job on that. Las Lomas, not sure what happened there, but we got a flag before the snap. It's going to cost the Knights 5 yards.
And they have to take advantage. Rocklin has to take advantage of another long yardage situation.
First and 15 as they back up Las Lomas to their own 45-yard line. Jackson out to the far side. Give it straight up the gut to Pomerantz, and he picks up about 7 yards before this next snap. Let's check in with Cheyenne.
We're here with head cheerleader Kira, and Kira, we have some special guests here tonight. We have some junior Knights. Tell us about that program.
All right, well, the junior Knights, they're in grades K through 5, and they're a bunch of really energetic little girls. They're going to do a couple cheers with us, do the halftime show. They're really excited. And if anyone wants to sign up for that, they can just inquire with our Las Lomas office, and it's a really great program for the girls to get involved and get their self-confidence up. It's a lot of fun.
Now, you have a lot of school spirit. You're the ASB president here. What events does the school have coming up?
All right, well, our main event is definitely homecoming. We're gearing up for mock rock and talent night and our various lunch activities, and of course the homecoming football game, which we hope a lot of people come out for. We're really excited for it, along with the dance that everyone's very excited for.
Always fun stuff, school spirit, and there you go. Go Knights. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Cheyenne. Nice run there for Austin Pomerantz. He reels off a 25-yarder. Is now the leading rusher for either school with 3 carries and 33 yards. 10 first downs now for Las Lomas as Rocklin continues to struggle defensively. Kyle Garvella in single coverage with Jackson out to the far side. Very good technique guy, but got to worry about the speed factor there as they hand it straight ahead. Pomerantz, and a very nice hit by Casey Sauberan, the 5'11", 198-pound senior. Two yards on that pickup. It'll be 2nd and 8. There's some tough guys on that Rocklin defensive line, and you know they are really going to battle all night long. The heat definitely not a factor for them. They're used to being in warm weather. They're going to just keep coming after it. This pass is a little high. Garvella knocks it down. Very good coverage. Now a late flag, and I mean way late. I don't know if they're going to call interference or what here.
Well, if you look at this on the slant, I don't know how you can say this could be defended any better. That's just a perfect play. That's a perfect play by Garvella. Now, hopefully the referee won't get involved in this, and he'll pick up his flag. But it seems as though they're going to call the interference. But that was just an excellent football
pass
play.
Interference. Half the distance to the goal, first down.
I have to disagree with the referee. I'm not on, I wish they had the red flag for the replay booth. You look at this right now, there's nothing that Garvella could have done any better, and there's absolutely nothing that he did wrong. He got there the exact moment that the ball was there. He climbed high, played the ball at his highest point, and just did not put his hand or his body on the wide receiver, and that's what you have to do. You have to impede the progress of the wide out for it to be defensive pass interference. He did none of that. Bad call.
So it's a first down for Las Lomas. And Gorton is going to roll out. Great play fake by Gorton, and he heads for the end zone and is in. A 12-yard run for Lucas Gorton. And Las Lomas adds to their lead.
A great play fake by Gorton right here, and just beating the defense to the corner. This is the play that comes right after the penalty, and you hate that for Rocklin, but you have to give credit to Las Lomas and Gorton for going through, executing the way that they are. I've said it's machine-like the way this offense is moving the ball down the field.
And I think I'm Greg Benzel. I'm not sure if I'd agree with the call, but I might have been able to live with it a little bit easier if they'd called it right away. But they waited 4 or 5 seconds after the play to throw the flag on that. The kick is good. It's 28-14, so still Rocklin has not stopped the Las Lomas offense. Now the question is, can they pick up a couple of first downs and get things moving, or will D'Amico just take one to the house himself?
You know what? Either way, I'm sure they'll be happy. But they just got to find a way. I mean, this is right here. This is a great play fake. You fooled the cameraman. Great play fake, and he just beat the defense to the corner. That's when you know you got a really good play fake, when the cameraman can't find you, because we have like an excellent crew.
Those guys are tough to fool.
Yeah,
no
they're hard to fool.
About that.
They're hard to fool. And when we can't find the ball, people, trust me, great play fake.
Having some fun on the Las Lomas sidelines. Tough game against Cal High. Marquise Water actually ran for over 100 yards in that game. That was kind of his coming out party, even though they lost to California High School, the EBAL Power. And Las Lomas has some good teams this year in their league. The DAFAL, Campolindo's very tough this year. Miramonte's always good. And they're getting ready for that by putting together a very tough preseason schedule. Mitty, Cal High, and Rocklin, 3 very quality opponents in the preseason for the Las Lomas Knights. They kick it away from D'Amico this time, and Hurley takes it. And he gets out to the 31-yard line and came very close to breaking one himself. Tommy Knott waiting in the middle of that special team, and he makes a sure tackle on Stephen Hurley.
Hurley is one of the players that the coaching staff of Rocklin singled out as being a leader, being a playmaker. They expected him to do. They expect him to come out and they wanted him to have a good game defensively and in the special teams. And we've seen him make plays tonight. So they're going to need a little bit more from him, because it doesn't seem like they're going to be able to stop Las Lomas' offense. So they're going to have to get some things going on offense themselves.
And so far, Jackson Cummings only 2 carries in this football game. They wanted to get him about 20 touches. Here's Hurley. And Hurley gets out to the 41-yard line, close to a first down, as finally one of the Rocklin receivers hangs on to one.
Well, we just talked about, some guys are going to have to step up and make some plays, and Hurley's been doing that. And you know what? This right here, this is what they need to do. The ball has been on time. You can't blame it on the quarterback. The ball has been where it needs to be, and the receivers have not been catching it. And Hurley decided, hey, you know what? I'm going to step up and make a play. Good throw, good protection. He ran a good route. Now you just have to finish it off when the ball hits you in the hands. He did that.
Stephen Hurley showing why he's the captain of this football team as he comes up with a couple of nice plays and some movement. That's a tough break. Casey Sauberon, who's playing the H-back this week because the normal starter, Sean Moore, is out. Disciplinary reasons from the NU game. And, boy, that's a tough break right there. Third penalty against the Thunder. Here comes Cummings straight ahead, and they are all over Jackson Cummings tonight. He gets a yard. That is all. Tommy Knott on the bottom of the pile. Also there was Lucas Morello. This guy was really learning the middle linebacker position and getting better and better. Very physical guy, and you can see it on that play as he stopped Jackson Cummings in his tracks. 3 carries, just 5 yards for Jackson Cummings so far. A late player onto the field. And Rocklin's going to go ahead and take a timeout. They've taken 2 so far. So 8:33 to go in the second. It's 28-14 Las Lomas.
Comcast believes in my future.
Believes in my future.
Believes in my future. Comcast Leaders and Achievers program provided me with a scholarship. Now I can continue my education and someday be a leader in my community. Comcast is investing in my future.
In my future.
In my future.
Comcast is committed to investing in our future leaders. To find out more about Comcast Leaders and Achievers Scholarship Opportunity, go to Comcast.com.
So it's 28-14, Las Lomas over Rocklin. NCS versus SJS, and Rocklin facing a 2nd and 14 from their own 38-yard line. Jimmy Lockrey completes it. Holden Huff out to the 49-yard line. Pickup of 11 yards. Nice play.
Jimmy Lockley has been extremely impressive at the quarterback position. You know, this young kid is just stepping in, and you look at him, he's going through his progression, and he's finding the open receiver, and he just put this one right between the 8 and the 5 on Huff, and I guess he said, you know what, I'm not going to give you an opportunity to drop this one. You can either catch it or I'm going to let it crack your sternum. You know, he hasn't thrown a bad ball all night long.
No, he really hasn't. He's done a very nice job. The fumble on the first snap, really the only mistake he's made tonight. He's going to throw for it here on 3rd down, rolling out, dumps the football, and they call it incomplete. Darren Thompson right in his face, tossed him to the ground, but he alertly kind of ditched that ball out.
Well, this play had bad news written all over it from the start. You know, with the initial snap, he was having trouble holding it, and then right here he started scrambling and just couldn't avoid the rush, and he's lucky that he was able to get that arm going forward enough, and that's something he'll learn with the snaps, with, you know, experience, that you just tuck that one and you take the loss on that one and not give the defense a chance to take the ball away from you.
What they've really had to do tonight is simplify their offense, limit the amount of shifts and motions. They normally have a lot more going on in their offensive backfield, and with the new quarterback, they've had to kind of simplify things just a little bit. Holden Huff drops the snap, picks it up quickly, and gets off the kick, gets a real nice roll out of this one. Look at it roll down inside the 25-yard line. So nice net out of that. Now the question is, can the Rocklin defense get just one stop tonight? It has been very difficult for them against the Las Lomas offense, and not an easy task to stop Las Lomas because of the amount of weapons they have. You got Gorton, who's a very good quarterback. He can run, he can throw. 2 very good receivers in Thompson and Deontay Jackson, and the running back, Marquise Waters, is very good as well.
Well, you know what? When I asked the coach and staff of Rocklin who did they have to stop, it was pretty humorous. The coach said, okay, well, we have to stop number 1 or number 6. Well, we got to stop 18. He said, well, you know what? Number 8's pretty good, too.
Waters straight ahead, and he is knocked backwards. Great hit right in the middle of that defensive line. And most of the time, it's going to be Brandon Baroni. He's the guy with just an incredible motor. Just keeps going, keeps pushing. 5'9", 220. He's a big fella.
Well, there are just so many skilled guys that are playing just good football over for the Las Lomas football team. But right there was nowhere to go. That's the kind of ball that Rocklin's going to have to play. They know that the skilled guys are out there for them. But right then, you're going to see Barone just step in and say, you know what? You know, I'm a tough guy. I'm going to take you guys on, and I'm going to try and make some changes. That's what they're going to have to do. Individual guys are going to have to step up and make plays.
2nd and 9. Gordon on a roll. Tosses this one to Thompson. He splits the defense and has a first down at the 37-yard line. That's an 11-yard pickup. Tommy Knott makes the tackle. Really like this Las Lomas offense. They've got a really nice flow going right now.
It's so methodical, and there's so many weapons in it. You come into the game and you're saying, okay, you have to stop Deontay Jackson, and yes, you do, because he's definitely a big play guy for them. They're going to put him in the backfield and put him in the slot, put him out wide. But there are so many other players that can come out and make plays, and it makes it extremely difficult for a defensive coordinator.
And now Las Lomas is going to burn their first timeout of the first half with 6:20 to go in the second quarter. Take a look at the San Francisco Chronicle rankings here in the Bay Area. Of course, Rocklin is in the Sac Joaquin section, so they're not a part of this poll. But De La Salle's #1. They have a big game this weekend against Don Bosco Prep. Bellarmine, #2. But tell you what, Bellarmine's having a great season. Las Lomas comes in at #16. Look at the East Bay Athletic League. You got San Ramon Valley, you got Cal High, you got Monte Vista, De La Salle, all sitting right there. Foothill also in the top 10. Man, that is going to be a tough league this year. Gorton rolling out. Throws it, and it is caught at the 44-yard line. Nice little high percentage play there to Michael Braswell. Real good possession guy for this team, and finds a spot and makes the catch. 10th completion of the night for Gorton.
The spacing of that last route was great. If you could have seen, at home, if you could have seen the way the guys are spreading the field from top to bottom, having a guy in the flat, a guy in the intermediate area, and a guy deep, giving the quarterback an opportunity to pick and choose, it's extremely difficult for Rocklin to stop it.
Yeah, we have penalty markers before this snap.
Dead ball, false start, any offense.
Las Lomas with their third penalty of the evening. It's cost them 15 yards on the night. There's 6 minutes to go second quarter, and Rocklin, they did a great job to get back in this football game, then gave up the touchdown after that. Another touchdown right here would really be devastating to their momentum going into the locker room. If they can come up with at least a stop. Gorton with a couple of play fakes, dumps it off complete. This is John Greer, the other tight end, and he gets out to the 40-yard line. That's a pickup of 21 more yards.
Gorton is just picking and choosing. On that play, he had 3 receivers wide open. He could have gone up top to try to get the big one, but right there, he just said, you know what? I haven't thrown the ball to my other tight end tonight, so I'm just going to go ahead and give him one so he'll be happy after the game. Or at halftime, he won't be mad at me. And he's just spreading the ball around. There are so many guys out there just finding a way to get open, and he's doing an excellent job of just getting it into their hands.
Another first down. Here comes a running play this time, and a pretty good one as Michael Morgan carries this time. And Morgan gets to the 36-yard line. That's a gain of 5 more yards. So everything working. Morgan had a big final quarter last week, got 80 yards against Northgate all in the fourth quarter. So they got guys on the bench waiting to do it also.
Well, you know what? When you're a coach, that's what you want. You want all the good guys on your team.
That helps. Morgan again, and this time he is dropped in the backfield. Josh Bevan makes a great play. He's a 6'1", 170-pound senior, and he got in the backfield quickly that time.
Yeah, Bevan shot the gap on this one and was able to just get his hands around him. and get him on the ground. That's the plays. Those are the type plays they're going to need. Like you said, Rocklin, it would be a tremendous boost if they can just stop them on this drive. Just hold them and not allow them to score any more points before the half. You give it to your offense. It's a 3rd and 8. This is a very long down and distance situation for them. So if they can just hold them right here, they will give their offense an opportunity.
And they're taking their time coming out of the huddle here. 3rd down, 8 yards to go. And now a timeout. They were just milking a little clock, taking a timeout. So 3:51 to go here in the first half. Los Lomas up by 2 touchdowns.
So many kids' activities today seem to leave out the activity part. New research tells us that just getting children to walk an extra 35 minutes a day could spare them the pain of thinning bones later in life. Encourage your kids to get up, get out, and get moving.
Hello. Hey, Grandma, how about another grape soda?
For more advice on how kids can build strong bones, visit AAOS.org, a public service message from the American Academy of Orthopedic Surgeons.
Guys, you had to know this was coming.
Actually, we feel blindsided. We just weren't expecting you to block us.
Well, after last week's episode, what am I going to do? There are children in this house, Marcelo. You're telling me you're all going to go straight and start acting like kittens? Stop shivving each other in the prison yard?
Shanking.
What?
It's a verb. To shank.
Look, I'm not asking you to change your ways. I'm just blocking you so the kids can't see. Now, who wants lemonade?
So a big 3rd down play coming up right here. Just under 4 minutes to go in the first half. Gordon on a roll. Who will he choose to throw this one to? The ball is tapped and intercepted. It's the big fella, Brandon Baroni. And look at the big guy go. Baroni down the sideline. He's gone. Touchdown, Brandon Baroni. Unbelievable. 63 yards. The lineman got his hands on the ball and turned on the blenders.
Look at the big guy. There was pressure on that play by Sabran, and Baroni got his hands on the ball, and look at him. He is huffing and puffing, but he got it done. Look at him. You got to love it. That right there, folks, that's a football player. The coaches talked about how tough he is. He's a wrestler, and you know, those are the – oh, you know what?
They're bringing it back.
They're bringing it back.
They're bringing it back. The Rocklin coaches are stunned. I never saw a penalty marker down.
Block in the back and the return. 10-yard penalty from the spot. 1st down.
Oh, my goodness.
Ladies and gentlemen, at halftime tonight, we're going to welcome the Los Lomas Junior Knights.
Well, maybe they called it on Daniel Lassard, but you know what? I hate to beat up on the referees, but you can't take that one from him. I mean, he had his head in front, and that was the only block that was made on the play. The rest of it was done just by the speed that I don't think anyone, even Baroni, knew that he had. I mean, he just outran the rest of the guys. I mean, you hate to see the referees get involved in it like that, and the game being played this hard.
Well, it was a turnover nonetheless. We'll see if Rocklin convert this and turn it into points. Pass is complete. Nice run down the sidelines. Garth Keffer, again, he's the backup QB tonight. And that will be a 1st down for Rocklin.
And you're going to – oh, this is the previous – right here, this is the block. They're saying the block in the back. I don't know. I mean, you know, his helmet was on his shoulder pad, but he never really got the guy in the back. That's a little iffy. I think you let it go. But then again, you know, I'm not the referee out there. And being an old ball player, I tend to beat up on the referees.
Second 1st down of the game for Rocklin. Low snap handled well by Lockray. Throws this one high, and it's nearly picked off. His receiver did a great job just getting a hand up on that, and Lockray took a big hit. Morgan Breslin laid him out, and Lockray is slow to get up. Looks like it's the knee or the shin area
Los Lomas Cheer would like to thank Simply Selling Shirts for sponsoring.
You never want to see a player get hurt, but the Rocklin coaching staff definitely don't want to lose another quarterback. And right here, Huff, tried to help his quarterback out there and get his hand, and he took a blow. And that one, guys, is retaliation from the play before. Huff came out on the previous play, and you didn't see it, but he cracked back and took out 2 guys with 1 block. And so those safeties were after him on that play.
And there's a Los Lomas player injured on the play as well. John Lind is limping off the field. We'll hope that Jimmy Lockray can continue when we come back.
When you turn on your TV or log on to the internet, you don't see us. But we're there. We're the people of Comcast. People who love to bring you amazing technology and great entertainment. It's our passion, it's our privilege. So from all of us to all of you, thanks. Thanks for putting your trust in us and welcoming us into your home. We can't think of anywhere we'd rather be.
I helped build it.
I helped build it too.
We helped rebuild them.
And now one's ours.
We helped build it, and it's almost done.
Women helped build it.
Rosa and I helped build it too. Through 30 years and 200,000 houses, Habitat for Humanity has been building homes and lives in America and around the world.
Habitat for Humanity. Support the work in your community. Visit habitat.org.
You're watching Comcast Hometown, local programming you won't find anywhere else. The excitement and competition of local high school sports. Events from around Northern California. And shows that enlighten, entertain, and keep you connected to your community.
His preferred mode of transportation is a customized scooter.
There are billions of dollars being spent.
Comcast Hometown, your hometown, exclusively on Comcast.
So Jimmy Lockray is still down on the field here at Los Lomas High School, and Garth Keffer is quickly taking some warm-up tosses. Take a look at the Sacramento Bee poll and show you how the Sac Joaquin section shapes up right now, as Granite Bay has remained in the #1 spot. They are also in Rocklin's league. You see Rocklin in the number 12 spot. Finally, Jimmy Lockray has gotten to his feet. Grant off to a great start this year. They're a very good football team, and we saw Pleasant Grove a couple of weeks ago.
This is definitely a tough break for Rocklin because Jimmy Lockray was actually starting to seem comfortable back there in the pocket. I mean, he's been making some pretty good throws all night long. I mean, he only had the one ball to the last throw that you saw that was a little off target, and that one rightfully so because, he had a missile being launched at his chest. So that's definitely a tough break.
So it's Garth Keffer again on in relief 2 weeks in a row. Last week he completed 6 of 14 for 80 yards. And again, the coaches just really praised his heart and courage in that game, coming in a tough situation and almost pulling off the victory against Nevada Union. We'll see if he can rally the troops here tonight. 3:08 to go in the first half. Rocklin trailing by 2 touchdowns. Keffer to throw. Dumps it off. And it's incomplete. Little tussle for the football. Pass was intended for Elliott Thompson, known more as a blocker than a pass receiver here at Rocklin. And it's going to be 3rd down.
Big 3rd down. They need to get the ball down the field. They really want to get this first down right here because there's a lot of time left on the clock. It would be a lot of time left for Los Lomas to do something with it.
Still working on Lockray. They swing it out to Jackson Cummings. Nice catch by Cummings in traffic, and he drags a Los Lomas Knight down to the 35-yard line. That's a pickup of 18 yards for the Thunder.
This is a great play ball to get this is a great play call to get it into the hands of your playmaker out in space. He's had a hard time finding running room between the tackles tonight, so they got the ball out to him on the edge in space, and he's able. I mean, you know, he's 5'7", 168-pound guy. He's not a really large guy going between the tackles. You get him in space, he can use his ability and get a first down for you.
Now they hand it to Jackson Cummings, and he squirts through the middle to the 29-yard line. By far the best drive of the night for Rocklin. They still have time to put points on the board, and a touchdown right here puts them to within a score. After all that's gone wrong here tonight, a couple of tough calls, touchdown called back, for them to be within one score going into the locker room, that would be huge.
I love the way you're politically correct. A couple of tough calls. I'll go on record saying bad.
Tell you what, I'd like to be a fly on the wall in the Rocklin locker room at halftime. I bet you they'll have some things to say about it. Here comes Jackson Cummings, and the only guy that can bring him down is Deontay Jackson at the 12-yard line. Big run.
Well, Jackson Cummings heard me say that he's not been running the ball between the tackles well, and right there you see excellent blocking by the Rocklin offensive line to point of attack, and Cummings is just running hard downhill, making plays for him. They're moving the chains. This is definitely the best drive of the night for Rocklin, and he's going to just do his thing. But you know what? Again, there's that guy, Jackson, making the play on the defensive side of the ball.
It was an 18-yard run for Jackson Cummings. They have taken actually it's Los Lomas that takes the timeout right there, their final timeout. So Rocklin still has one to work with. Greg Benzel, who is also the offensive coordinator for this team, has remained pretty calm tonight, but all things considered, he's done a very nice job of keeping in control and not letting all the bad breaks get to him so far. But like I said, I'd like to be a fly on the wall in the locker room. Imagine there's going to be some pretty choice words and some definite inspiration going on in the Rocklin locker room.
Well, you know what? They can go into halftime, regardless of the outcome of this drive here, they can go into halftime saying that, you know what, guys, we've taken the worst. You know, we fought through it. I mean, you have to give the Rocklin Thunder credit for just maintaining their composure. You know, they've had some bad calls against them, and they haven't blown up. You know, they're still fighting, they're still in the game, and right now they have an opportunity to make this a one-score game if they can finish off this drive.
Garth Keffer trying to rally his team. He's been able to move the football on this drive very nicely. They spotted at the 14-yard line and send a man in motion. It's Cummings straight ahead, and Cummings gets to the 10-yard line. That's a pickup of 4 more yards for Jackson Cummings, his 6th carry of the night. When the coaches here at Rocklin talk about Jackson Cummings, they talk about a very rare young man, very humble, full of character. He's #1 in his class athletically. I mean, academically, just does everything the right way. Keffer flips it out. It passes complete to Sabaran, and he gets down to about the 5-yard line. 5-yard pickup right there.
Well, you talked about the coaching staff having confidence in Garth Keffer. Well, you know, Kiefer's coming in right now, and the thing that I like about him is that his teammates said that, you know what, we know that he can get it done. We know that we can play well, and you see that. You can see the uplift in these guys since he's been on the field.
3rd and 2. Keffer drops the football, tries to get out of trouble, and now he loses the handle. They're going to say he's down. The football popped out. Tyler Townsend thought he was off to the races. And now they're saying he was down. That is a huge break for Rocklin. Finally, a break that goes their way in this football game. It's still a loss of about 7 yards, however.
Well, right here, you're going to see this one just pop out. And friends, you know what? That right there is the old makeup call. I have to say it. You know, you hate taking that one from the Los Lomas player, but that was a fumble.
So Jackson Cummings will try and make a field goal here. It'll be a 31-yard attempt. They say he's lights out from 30 in, so this is right at the edge of his distance possibilities. And I think Rocklin's going to take a timeout. They do. That's their final timeout.
been some crazy calls out there tonight.
Greg Benzel's got to be thinking, how do you guys do things here in the Bay Area? This is a little crazy for me.
Well, I mean, you look at Keffer right here. He's running for his life, but there's no way this is not a fumble. The ball is out right there. He's standing, both feet on the ground. Whistle hasn't been blown. That's a fumble. That would have been returned for a touchdown. But the flip side of that coin is that a touchdown was taken on Baroni's return, and on Barone's return, and then there we go. I mean, that's the classic make-up call. You know what? I made a mistake. I'm not going to change it, but I owe you one. And I know I shouldn't be saying this, but it's on camera. It's documented, folks. You can see it just like I can.
So a big field goal attempt coming up here for Jackson Cummings. Sure, they would have loved to have had a touchdown out of this, but 3 will be okay.
And you know what? I'm gonna be nice to the referees because you know what? They are human doing.
And I tell you what, Cummings had no problem popping that one through.
Yeah, the referees are out there tonight, folks, and when you see it and you have that split second to decide one way or the other, and not have the benefit of the replays like we do up here in the booth and you do at home. You know, those guys they do an excellent job, and they get out and they try to make the best calls that they possibly can. And you know, every now and then they miss one, but you have to give them credit for all the ones that they make correctly as well.
So it's 28-17, Los Lomas by 11. Greg Benzel checking the sheet. And what plays haven't we tried so far? We got to find something that works. That was a decent drive right there. Tough break on the 3rd and 2. They ended up getting points out of it, however, and you know, they've got to be pleased to be sitting where they are, all things considered.
Well, that was a very productive drive for them. They needed to do 2 things on that drive: get points and take time off the clock. They were able to do both on that drive. I'm sure they would have liked to have gotten, you know, that extra 4 points by getting it in the end zone. But right there, they only give, you know, they in that drive with points and only giving Los Lomas 34 seconds to do something with, as opposed to, you know, they had a long 3rd down they were facing with 3 minutes left on the clock, and if they had not converted that and continued to move the chains, it could be things could have gotten ugly for them.
That was really the exact kind of drive they were hoping to have coming into this game. Chew up clock, keep the ball away from Los Lomas, and get a few points in the process. Jackson Cummings to kick it away. 34 seconds remaining in the half. Goes for the short kick. Fair catch called for. The ball drops momentarily. Whistle blows. They'll take it at the 29-yard line.
Now, if you are the Rocklin defenders, get deep, please. Don't allow anyone behind you. Get deep. Don't be that guy. That guy's called a coach killer.
Deontay Jackson runs a 4.540. He's also been to the state in the long jump. He's got 7 offers from Pac-10 schools. This is the kind of situation a guy like that thrives on. 32 seconds left. They're going to run the football, perhaps content just to get out of Dodge with an 11-point lead. Marquise Waters for 1. His 6th carry of the first half. Good-looking sophomore, likes him. He runs real hard. He's very shifty. He's going to be a star of the future here at Los Lomas High School. And the Knights will let time expire on this first half. Crazy first half. 28-17 going into the locker room. And I imagine it's going to be pretty emotional for both teams. Los Lomas will be talking about how do we let these guys back in the game. And Rocklin's going to be talking about overcoming obstacles in their locker room, and so far they've done a pretty good job of that. But the question, I think, the big question for them is, can they shore up their defense? Los Lomas has pretty much moved the ball at will, other than that one turnover. That's been the only thing that's stopped the Knights so far tonight.
Los Lomas has been able to do anything they've wanted to do out there on the field. I mean, there's been 5 or 6 different receivers with the ball. Running game's been well, so they definitely are feeling good. Rocklin has to stop them.
All right, let's check in with Cheyenne, who has Coach Longiero down on the field.
Thanks, guys. Coach, your opponents are missing their starting quarterback. Did you prepare your team this week for anything different?
No, we were preparing just as they had their starter in. Their kid that came in is a good little player. We were aware of him. You know, we made a lot of mistakes this first half, and even with 28 points, I mean, we just got to play a better second half, cleaner second half.
Are you seeing more of a heart from Rocklin than what your team expected since they got a little lax in that first quarter?
No, not at all. I mean, they're a prideful school. They have a lot of tradition. You know, I expect a great second half of football.
All right, we'll see you after the second. Thanks, Coach.
So there you have it, 28-17 at the half. Great night of high school football here on Comcast. We'll take a break, be back with the highlights and the team totals coming up next.
Experts predict that by the end of this century, land and water resources will become scarce, and climate change will irreversibly alter our planet. But what the experts haven't calculated is the power of the human will to come together to protect the future of our natural world. If you're ready to make a difference that lasts, visit the Nature Conservancy at nature.org today.
Save a load of Benjamins. Sign up today for Comcast Digital Voice with unlimited local and long distance plus voicemail. Because the less money you pay, the more you get to keep for yourself. Just call 1-800-COMCAST today. Comcast Digital Voice. It's Comcastic.
My name's Emily, and in 7 years, I'll be an alcoholic. I'll start drinking in 8th grade, but my parents won't really notice because I'll do okay in school and everything will seem okay, but everything won't be okay.
Kids who drink before age 15 are 5 times more likely to have alcohol problems when they're adults. So start talking before they start drinking.
Available now through October 25th, exclusively for Comcast customers, take a trip to the 19th annual Comcast San Jose Jazz Festival anytime you want, on demand. Our hosts bring you backstage, highlighting the best of Saturday's offerings from 5 stages, including performances by 15 different music acts, as well as interviews from icons David Sanborn and John Densmore. Go to the on-demand menu, click Bay on Demand, and scroll to local events to find the Comcast San Jose Jazz Festival.
It is 28-17 here at the half. Los Lomas over Rocklin. And, boy, we saw a lot of different things happen in that first half. Dave Cox and Eric Davis with you. And can't wait to see what's going to happen in the second half, Eric. That was pretty crazy.
Absolutely. You know what? We had some great plays on the field. We had some not-so-hot calls by the refs. But, you know, like I said, they're doing the best they can. But you know what? This has been some really good football. Right here, you're going to see Deontay Jackson come out and do exactly what they were expecting him to do. He came out and just boloed through 4 players and got into the end zone. And then on the next possession, Darren Thompson was able to do the same thing with the touchdown reception. And quarterback Lucas Gordon decided to get himself after a PI penalty. He decided to try and beat the Rocklin defense to the pylon. And then Rocklin decided to get something going. Diamenco decided that I'm going to take this one to the house on the kickoff return, and then on the ensuing kickoff, you saw a great play by Steve Hurley. He was able to knock that ball in and give his team an opportunity to get it, and they finished off that drive with the youngster Jimmy Lockray taking it into the end zone after a little bobbled snap there.
And, of course, Lockray was injured after that. Here are the team totals. It really looks like Los Lomas should be up by more than 11 points when you look at this, but Rocklin has been very resilient, and they're hanging in there.
Well, you know what? All sorts of things could have gone wrong, and they could have been blown out of this game, but they are finding a way to get themselves back into action, keep this game close, and they are able, a couple of scores, they're right back in it.
All right. That's the story here at the half. We'll be back with more in just a moment.
Well, I think it's everyone.
Experts predict that by the end of this century, land and water resources will become scarce, and climate change will irreversibly alter our planet. But what the experts haven't calculated is the power of the human will to come together to protect the future of our natural world. If you're ready to make a difference that lasts, visit the Nature Conservancy at nature.org today.
Is this Philadelphia? Save a load of Benjamins. Sign up today for Comcast Digital Voice with unlimited local and long distance plus voicemail. Because the less money you pay, the more you get to keep for yourself. Just call 1-800-COMCAST today. Comcast Digital Voice. It's Comcastic.
And we are just about ready to start the third quarter. Before the kickoff, let's check in with Cheyenne.
Well, I think it's everyone's mind. They got to want to know, Coach, is Jimmy coming back tonight?
We're gonna have him warm up a little bit on the sidelines, take some three-step drops, and see how he feels. We definitely want him to come back. Our guys have responded well, and we're going to see if we can make something happen in the second half.
You guys are showing a lot of heart, and we wish you luck, Coach. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much.
Guys, back to you.
So Jimmy Lockrey with the knee injury. They're hoping that he can continue in this football game, although Garth Keffer did a pretty good job of moving them down the field and putting some points on the board himself. So I think Rocklin has some options right now. They've got to be hungry coming into the second half, and we'll see if they can get it done. Los Lomas will start with the football, however, and that's been the issue. Los Lomas has racked up 242 yards of total offense in this football game and really done just about anything they've wanted to with the football.
Well, you know what? Rocklin has not found the combination of defensive calls to stop them. These guys are, there are so many weapons on that offense, and the coaching staff is doing a great job of getting the balls into their hands. Gordon is distributing the ball well to his teammates and getting it in the hands of the playmakers, and Rocklin's got to try to come out this second half and find a way to just slow that machine down.
Jackson Cummings will do the honor. He's looking for the right football right now as he threw one back. There is Lucas Gorton. Very good first half for him, throwing the football and running the football as well for Los Lomas. He did a little bit of everything, and he really has this offense clicking on all cylinders. It's a very sophisticated offense for high school, Eric, and they do a very nice job running it.
They do a great job running. They do, and what you can't see at home because you're not seeing the entire field the way we are here. It's how they are spacing in their route selection and in their route running. They're spacing it out so that the defenders have to go and cover from sideline to sideline and from line of scrimmage all the way to the end zone.
Short kick, and again they have to call for the fair catch. And Las Lomas will take it as Pomerantz calls for the fair catch at the 33-yard line. So Lucas Gorton back on the field with his offensive attack. Deontay Jackson had 81 yards receiving. They really spread the ball around to a bunch of different guys. And Gorton does a nice job as the junior running this football team. There you see his numbers from the first half. Very good completion percentage. First and 10, Las Lomas from the 33-yard line. Jackson goes in motion. See if they can get the football into his hands. They settle for Darren Thompson, the tight end, and he gets to the 42-yard line. Quick tackle by Ben Holland. Very physical, very passionate defensive player for this team. And he makes the tackle. 8-yard pickup on first down, and again, a very high percentage play for Las Lomas. 14 first downs in the first half for Las Lomas. See Deontay Jackson caught 5 balls, had the 1 touchdown. Gorton looking for Jackson, and he somehow hangs on to a one-handed play. Jackson Cummings brings him down. I'm not sure how he managed to pull that in. It's a pickup of 13 yards and a first down.
That was a great misdirection play. The design of this play, you're going to see Jackson coming inside. They're setting it up like it's going to be an outside screen, but he's coming back inside behind all the defenders, and you see the great one-handed catch. You see the concentration, and you know him just being an athlete and finishing it off. And then once he gets the ball in his hands, he's a load to bring down. They're having a tough time tackling him. You saw it on his first touchdown. score, and you just saw it right then.
Started the season with a bang. He had over 100 yards in the first half against Archbishop Mitty. There's the defense right there. Big hit by David Waterhouse. And what a story David Waterhouse is. As a freshman, he got kicked off the football team. They wanted nothing to do with him and his attitude. He has really matured, and Coach says he has turned into a fine young man that has had to deal with some struggles in life, but he's here on the varsity right now making a contribution to his team. That's a great turnaround.
That's a great turnaround, and that's what I love about the sport of football, because you learn lessons like that. You learn that the team concept of it, because you're obligated to those other guys, and you have to do the right thing, even sometimes when you're not going to be the star, and that kid learned that.
2nd and 9. They gave him forward progress, about a half a yard. Gorton to the air. Thompson, what a catch in traffic. Wow, and he gets down to the 28-yard line. Stephen Hurley had a chance to break up that pass and couldn't do it. It's a pickup of 17 yards and another first down.
Well, you know what? If the offense does everything correct and you do everything just right on defense, you're going to get there right when the ball arrives, just like Hurley just did. He did. There is nothing else he could have done other than try and make the play and get the ball out of his hands. But right there, you saw Lucas Gordon put the ball right where it needed to be, and you saw a great catch by his tight end in Thompson, and that's just good football right there on both of those players' part.
Gordon is now 14 of 18 in this football game. Opening drive of the second half for Las Lomas. In traffic, Deontay Jackson. It takes 3 defenders to bring him down. It's a gain of 9 more yards. Over 200 yards throwing now for Lucas Gordon.
Gordon seems just so comfortable in this offense and finding the open guy. And again, you see the concentration, because there was a defender that flashed right across in front of him on that play and nearly had an opportunity to knock the ball down, and he still just stayed locked in, made the catch. And, he's showing tonight why all the Pac-10 coaches and coaches all around the country at colleges are trying to get them on his team.
2nd and 1 for the Knights. Waters settles into a slot on the near side. Oh, and look at this guy. It is Brandon Baroni again, and you do not get much tougher than Brandon Baroni. I'll tell you what, this guy is incredible.
Well, you're going to see right here. I mean, this is just down and dirty nose guard play right there. He's a wrestler. You saw the athletic ability on the interception return, and he is one of the leaders out there. Coach said he is the leader of that line. They're going to follow his lead, and if they're going to follow his lead, then Las Lomas has to play 4 quarters, because they're definitely not going to quit, because there's no quit in Baroni.
3rd and 2. Rocklin with a chance for a stop. Can they get it? Pitch it out. Waters makes the cut, has the first down, and gets down to the 13-yard line. An 8-yard run for Marquise Waters. And the 17th Las Lomas first down of the night.
Well, you talked about Waters being one of the stars of the future, and right here you're going to see the vision and the balance, and you know what? He just stretched it out until he had an opportunity to make the cut and come downhill and get the first down. And you know what? That's a great run by a young guy. Just seeing the hold, not having the patience to trust his blocking and wait for them to make an opening for him. When he saw it, put his foot in the ground, went downhill, and got the first down.
Gorton looking for Deontay Jackson, and what great coverage that time. Wow, right on him was Kyle Garvella. They really praised this guy's technique as a defender, not the fastest guy on the field, but he had Deontay Jackson covered like a blanket.
Well, that's the first bad decision I've seen Gorton make with the ball, because just like you said, Garvella was all over him. There was no way that he was going to get a completion on that throw. Normally, Gordon's been finding the open guy. He has confidence in his guy Jackson that he's going to make that play, but not on that one. Garvella did everything absolutely right.
2nd and 10 from the 13-yard line. 7:27 to go here in the third quarter. The opening possession of the third for Las Lomas. He's trying for Jackson again. Now he's going to tuck and go. Gets a great block, and Gorton dives for the pylon. He's in. Touchdown. Wow, I don't know who laid out that block. It was either Pomerantz or Herring, but what a terrific hit to spring Gorton to the end zone.
Well, Gordon came back with the play fake, and this time he decided not to try and force it, and he looked backside to his second receiver, and you're going to see Eric D'Amico thinking he had an opportunity to get him, and he just got blocked in the back, folks.
Oh, my goodness. The kick is up, and the kick is good. So Las Lomas adds to their lead. Opening possession of the half. Lucas Gordon doing it with his arm and doing it with his feet. It's 35-17, Las Lomas.
When someone abducts a child, they're not about to advertise it. But we will. Sign up at wirelessamberAlerts.org to get free Amber Alert text messages on your cell phone. Help put a child abductor out of business for good. Wireless Amber Alerts. A child is calling for help.
Hey, baby. You all right?
Hey, Money.
Looking good.
Hey, Money. How you
Mr. J, Mr. J.
What's up, Money?
What it is, bro? You straight?
Everyone loves money. Sign up today for Comcast Digital Voice, and you'll get this amazing offer. With unlimited local and long distance plus voicemail. Because the less money you pay, the more you get to keep for yourself. Just call 1-800-COMCAST today. Comcast Digital Voice. It's Comcastic.
The Las Lomas offense has been lights out. They hold on to the football for almost 5 minutes to start the third quarter. They get the touchdown. And now it'll be Rocklin's turn to see if they can get something going offensively to try to keep pace with Las Lomas. And Hurley gets it out to the 31-yard line. We'll see who we see at quarterback. Will it be Keffer or will it be Jimmy Lockray? It looks like Lockray is going to take the first snaps of the second half.
And that's a great sign for a young quarterback. A lot of times they come in and they get that first varsity action, and they, you know what, and they see the game's a little faster and the hits are a little harder, and they shy away from it. You know, for him to come back after being injured, that's big on his part. It has to give a lot of confidence to his offense.
Watch the pick, sir. Watch the pick.
First and 10. Lockray to throw on first down, and he airs one out. Holden Huff has it. Wow, what a catch by Holden Huff, and he's down inside the 15-yard line. "53 yards on the play." I guess his knee's all right.
Hey, the kid, you know what? We definitely know his arm's okay, and he was able to drop that one right in to Huff's hands, right behind Marquise Waters. And that right there, that's a great throw. Good catch. You know what? He ran across the field, found a hole in the defense there, and Lockray was able to get the ball right on time, right in stride. Big play. That's the kind of play that they needed.
They really have those kind of expectations for Holden Huff week in and week out. Here comes Jackson Cummings in trouble. Makes the first guy miss, however, and what a run by Cummings. Still going. Touchdown, Rocklin. Not sure how in the heck he did that. Houdini on that play, and Jackson Cummings squirts into the end zone from 15 yards out, and his first touchdown of the night.
Well, Cummings has been their offense. You know what? They've been one-dimensional, but it's okay if that one-dimensional knows how to find the end zone. And you see right now, look at the balance. He's breaking tackles. He's doing everything. And look, you know, the young leader. He walked out on the field and said, you know what, guys, let's get it done. Kind of like Willis Reed, huh? Came out and said, you know what, I'm injured, but we're going to get this done. We're going to get in the end zone. You know, the big throw, the big run, and they're right back in it.
Jackson Cummings adds the point, and Rocklin will just
cannot go away. A two-play drive. It's 35-24. What a game.
Cordless power tools and rechargeable batteries help you do projects all over the house. Inside, outside, they let you work anywhere. But did you know that by recycling old rechargeable batteries, you can help protect the environment? It's true. When they no longer hold a charge and need to be replaced, old rechargeable batteries should be recycled. It's easy and it's free.
Recycle your old rechargeable batteries wherever you buy cordless power tools. Go to calltorecycle.org to find a collection site near you.
When you turn on your TV or log on to the internet, you don't see us, but we're there. We're the people of Comcast. People who love to bring you amazing technology and great entertainment. It's our passion, it's our privilege. So from all of us to all of you, thanks. Thanks for putting your trust in us, for welcoming us into your home. We can't think of anywhere we'd rather be.
Nice night of high school football here in Walnut Creek. It's 35-24, and what a crazy game this has been so far. And I can't wait to see the rest of it. This is good stuff. This is entertaining.
It's a great football game. When you see guys playing hard, you know, Rocklin's needed guys to step up. And, you know, like on that last run right there, that run never would have been possible if number 63, Chad Weaver, didn't stay with his block long enough to allow Cummings to turn the corner. And then Cummings decided, I'm going to break a few tackles and get in the end zone. These guys are playing hard and stepping up when they need to.
They're going to the well again on the short kick, and it's worked pretty well. The ball ends up out of bounds this time. So Las Lomas will have the choice to take it at the 35 or re-kick it. I believe they'll take it right at the 35-yard line, and that is where their high-powered offense comes back on the field. Lucas Gordon has thrown for over 200 yards. He's rushed for 29 yards and 2 touchdowns so far tonight.
Lucas Gordon and this entire Las Lomas offense has looked extremely impressive thus far in this game. I mean, they're just clicking on all cylinders. There are very few mistakes being made on their part. You know, there are no false starts. Guys are running the routes, and the spacing has been great. And so it's really impressive to see a high school squad run with this type precision.
Las Lomas, their goal year in and year out, get to the NCS championship this game, and the NCS has completely reconfigured their playoffs. Used to be the old 2A, 3A, 4A thing, and now it's by divisions, matching more in line with what the CIF does for the state championship, which I think makes a lot of sense. Here's Deontay Jackson, and Jackson gets down to the 47-yard line, a quick 18-yard pickup and another first down.
Now Gordon's going to step back and look at the offensive line protection. There's no one within 5 yards of him. And then you see Jackson do it again. After he catches the ball, the initial hit, you know, he gains another 7-8 yards, and that's what he's been doing all night long. Even after he gets the ball in his hands and they get defenders there, he's a tough guy to get down, and you see that he is a special player.
Across midfield once again, the Las Lomas Knights. Pomerantz, and he manages to break through the initial line and get down for another first down to the 34-yard line. That's a 12-yard run for the big fella Pomerantz.
The game is starting to be played on the Rocklin side of the ball again, and right now Pomerantz is just finding a crease in the defense and just getting around the corner, getting it to the second level.
Pomerantz will take a breather. Morgan Breslin now in the backfield. This Las Lomas, they'll come at you with a bunch of different sets. They can really move the ball around to a lot of different players and give you a lot of things to worry about defensively. Waters. And Waters is wrapped up near the line of scrimmage. A marker goes down. The tackle was made by Daniel Lassard. And it looks like this call will go against Las Lomas.
Yeah, we're going to go.
Steve Corrigan, our referee, will straighten this out for us.
Holding on the offense. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down.
Steve Longero, you can see, is not pleased with that. Jason Adams, the defensive coordinator for the Rocklin Thunder, has his work cut out for him here tonight. Gorton to throw. Goes deep for Jackson. He's out there. He's got it. Jackson down inside the 10. And again, the coverage was there, but Jackson outleaps the defender. It's almost not fair.
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was just about to say, you know, Garvella is right there, and he has an opportunity to make a play on this ball, but Deontay Jackson just said it's mine, period. End of story. And, you know, he's just better than these guys. On that play right there, he was just better, and you can't ask your defender to be in better position. I mean, he's outside in his coverage, looking back with an opportunity to make a play on the ball, but, you know, he's going against a guy who's 6'3". We've already talked about his track exploits and his jumping ability, and he was just able to beat him to the highest point and get his hands on the ball, and it's just really nothing he could do about it.
First and goal, Las Lomas, their 21st first down. Gorton keeps this time. He's hit hard, but he gets inside the 5 to pick up 4 more yards for Lucas Gorton. 33 yards on the ground for him. You know, they say he's a great musician with the he kind of plays this offense like it's an instrument. You know what I'm saying? He's got all the right notes he hits at the right time, and it's very impressive to watch.
Yeah, you know what? You're absolutely right. I mean, not even like a musician. He's more like a conductor back there. I mean, just the way everything is falling right where it should be, right on time, and he's keeping the melody and the harmony and the rhythm just going perfectly.
Second and goal, power formation. Pomerantz is not going to get there this time. Baroni was there, and also Lassard. Lassard actually made the tackle. And it's going to be third and goal.
And it would be huge. This drive would be huge for Rocklin after the big plays that we've seen, for them to hold them to a field goal right now. You know, it's third down, and this is still an extremely close game, and we've seen big plays made by both clubs, so anything can happen. And if they can keep them to 3 right, hold them to 3 right here, that'll be huge for them.
Jackson comes out to the near side. Herring is in the slot. Single coverage on Jackson here on the near side, and Gorton is rolling his way. Jackson trying to go against the grain. Gorton trying to buy some time, does, and has a man. Touchdown. Chase Herring, great patience that time by Gorton. Took a long time for that play to develop, but finally, oh, nope, we got a marker down. They've been slipping those markers out at some very timely times tonight.
Well, Gorton had, you know, Rocklin had 3 opportunities to stop him on that play anyway. Yeah, the missed tackles is what caused that touchdown, but it seems like there was a penalty against Las Lomas on that one, and they're going to get a second chance.
Wow, so 3rd and 3 and a touchdown turns into 3rd and goal from the 21-yard line. I have a feeling I know where this ball is going to be thrown.
And now they have him, and they've had him in this situation, in long yardage situations all night long. They definitely have to take advantage of this, and if they want to get back into this ball game, they cannot let them convert this 3rd down.
D'Amico is guarding Jackson here on the near side. Gorton is going right his way. Lofts it up. Look at that, and D'Amico taps it away. Oh, my goodness. Jackson jumped just a little bit early, and D'Amico jumped late and knocked it away. The defensive play of the night for Rocklin right there.
Well, you know what's been so impressive about what Jackson is doing is that he's doing it against a good ball club, and they've been in position all night long. And right here, you're going to see D'Amico go up and just time this one perfectly and be there when the ball arrives, hand on the ball, and he knocked it right out of Jackson's hands, and that right there, that's a great football play. That's the way you coach it. You want him to be in position. You want him to attack the ball at his highest point, not get nervous, and make that play. You know, and that is why it's so impressive what this offense of Las Lomas is doing.
A 38-yard attempt for Matt Carter. He's got the distance, and it is good. Las Lomas has had a great series of kickers here, including Andrew Shapiro that's now at Fresno State, but Matt Carter makes good right there. So not to dissuade Las Lomas, the big penalty pushed them way back, but they did get points. The ball game is a 2-touchdown game, and we're talking about on that defensive play in the end zone, a 6'3", 205 guy going against D'Amico, who's just 5'8", 162, and 5'8", won the battle this time.
And look at the hops. Look at the hops. I mean, that's impressive, and that's great defensive back play. You don't have to be as big as a guy. You just have to arrive the same time as the ball. That is perfect timing. That's excellent football on the back end. You can't coach it any better. You can't play it any better.
Baby, let's go.
And the pep band plays on here at Las Lomas. Now under the direction of John Schroeder, formerly run by Norm Dia. They do a great job here on the pep band. Matt Carter kicks it off. And Hurley gets it out to the 29-yard line. Well, the Rocklin offense really showed some signs of life on their last possession. They have an opportunity to pull to within 1 touchdown, which, considering what's gone on tonight, that would be pretty amazing. They've only got 6 first downs compared to 21 for Las Lomas. They've been outscored, outgunned, out everything tonight, but they somehow remain in this football game, and we still have over a quarter of football left to play here at Las Lomas High School. Two receivers out to the near side. The sophomore Jimmy Lockray at quarterback for Rocklin. Throws it to the far side, complete. Nice run after the catch. That pass landed into the hands of someone that I don't have a number for, number 14, the mystery man. Is he on your roster? He's not on my roster. There's the last scoring drive. Great throw against the grain that time to Holden Huff. Took him just 2 plays, and then Jackson Cummings makes just an absolutely electrifying run, making a bunch of people miss for Las Lomas and getting into the end zone. Screen pass set up. This is Jackson Cummings. Get him out into space. Look at the balance for Cummings as he gets down to the 37-yard line. 18 more yards.
The last 2 drives have been extremely impressive, and Lockray's doing a good job of just sucking in the defensive line so to give Cummings room behind him, and you've mentioned it. Look at the balance. That's what good running backs have to have. You know, he can take the lick and still land on his feet like a cat, ready to continue going forward. You know, it was a huge game, big play.
First down, Rocklin. Pitch it out, Eric D'Amico. A nice run down to the 23-yard line, 12 yards on the ground, and all of a sudden, Rocklin's offense looks a little bit like Las Lomas's offense, the way they're moving the football.
And you know what? I got to give the O-line a little love here, because number 63, Weaver, is getting out, and he's setting up some blocks for his running backs, and they are able to go behind that, cut back against the grain, because they have a solid wall there in front of them, and they're getting some positive yardage.
Las Lomas is going to take a timeout right here for the first time tonight. Their defense is reeling a little bit. Some guys huffing and puffing a little bit on that defensive side, and their defensive coordinator, Don Bradshaw, is going to let them have it a little bit right here.
They haven't been on the field long enough tonight to be tired, so I can understand him being upset. They played, about 12 plays on defense. You know what, right now, Rocklin, we talked about it. I mean, they're a tough squad. They're a good football team, and they're fighting. And the way this game has been going, they should have been blown out a long time ago, but they've fought through the adversity, and they are right here in it with an opportunity to make this a 1-score game if they can finish off this drive.
It's not quite 12, but it's only 26. They've only been on the field for 26 plays.
Tomatoes. 26-12. They haven't been out there very much.
Compared to 48 plays that Las Lomas has run off, so it's been about double. This pass is complete. Nice run after the catch. And down inside the 10, Scott Pulaski. That is a pickup of 16 yards. Figured out who our mystery man was. It's Carl Cannon.
Well,
that was number 14.
And Lockray is coming out, and he is definitely showing the poise that the coaching staff were talking about. And they said, you know, he's young. He just got the tap up on the shoulder saying that you're going to come and play with the big boys. But he is doing everything that you can ask from this quarterback in this offense. He's finding the open guy. He's running the offense effectively, making big plays.
First and goal, Rocklin. Daniel Lassard straight ahead. Nice spin move. Look at Lassard dig for the end zone, and he's down to the 1. Tell you what, there was some shoulder pads popping on that play. Mostly Daniel Lassard's.
And just right up into their nose. That you see it right there. You see Gibbs and Bevins and Baroni and Narez. They're just doing the job up front right now. They're playing finally on Las Lomas' side of the line of scrimmage.
Lassard again. This is their pound-it-in offense. When they need to control the clock and get into short yardage, they give it to number 5, and he's going to be just short of the end zone. Third and goal. Wouldn't it be something if Rocklin could pull to within 1 touchdown? And it looks like that's what they are about to do. Third and goal, just inches out of the end zone. Lockray drops the football. Now he's got it. Tough break. He goes down all the way back near the 12-yard line. Thompson makes the tackle, but it's a big loss. And now what do you do if you're the Rocklin coaching staff? Do you settle for 3?
Well, you know what? He's got to learn to just get down and protect the ball on that. When he was trying to make a play after the first drop right here,
go down on it.
Go down on it and save the yardage. That's what he'll learn. Experience will teach him that, because only bad things are going to happen from that point. But you know what? Rocklin, they need to try and get this ball into the end zone.
They're going to go for it on 4th down. Fake it to Cummings. Lockray on a roll, has a man in the back of the end zone. It's caught. Holden Huff, touchdown Rocklin. Oh my goodness.
I love it. I love it.
Only in high school football do you see stuff like this.
The youngster is saying, you know what, I'm going to make a play, and Holden Huff is doing. Again, you see excellent defensive coverage, but you know what? Huff just said, I'm going to make a play. I'm going to be better. We've seen that all night long when guys are doing their jobs as well as the coach could ask them to do, but, you know, playmakers just find a way to come out on top, and that's what we saw.
Jackson Cummings, big extra point, and it's good. And I tell you what, Lockray took a hit when he threw that football, a big one, in fact. All right, let's check in with Cheyenne.
All right, guys, thanks. We're here with the principal of Rocklin High School, Mike Garrison. Principal Garrison, you guys are a distinguished school. What's so special about that?
Well, what it talks a little bit about is the neat thing is how good we are academically. We really take a lot of pride as a school on our academic side. Obviously, we do with our athletic side as well, but from an academic standpoint, we think we're a pretty strenuous school, and just being acknowledged as a California Distinguished Schools tells us that our kids are doing a great job in the classroom and on the testing, meeting all our AYP targets, and having a high
just
API
score.
And it's opened some other doors for us. We're one of the top 500 schools in the nation in Newsweek magazine last year, so a lot of different neat things that happen for us as a school, and it just solidifies and kind of confirms where you are as a school academically, so we're really proud of it.
Well, congratulations on that accomplishment, Principal Garrison. Your team's making a comeback right now in the second half. We'll see if they can take the whole game.
Yeah, we hope they do. They're playing with some heart tonight and getting after it. So hopefully they'll come out with a win tonight.
All right, guys, we'll throw it back to you up in the booth.
Thank you, Cheyenne. Oh, what do you know, Eric? After all this, we've got ourselves a football game. 38-31.
You know, all the usual suspects are coming out and doing what they do, and you know what? We've seen some great plays out there tonight.
Short kick again. And a big hit for Rocklin at the 30-yard line. Wow. How about that? David Waterhouse on the kick team, making his presence felt. And the momentum starting to shift over to Rocklin, but Las Lomas, with their high-powered offense, hasn't been stopped much tonight. Gordon has thrown for 256 yards in this game. I tell you what, if you're the Rocklin coaching staff, you've got to be proud with the way your kids have hung in there. There's been some serious adversity they've had to overcome this whole week and in this game tonight. Here comes Deontay Jackson out to the near side. Gordon lofts one up deep for him. And again, the ball is knocked to the ground. Stephen Hurley, the captain, making the play.
They were expecting him to make some plays down the field tonight on Jackson, and then none have been bigger than this one right here. You know, they've got this within they got into a one-score game, and right there, you know, that could have just taken the wind out of their sails, and you know what, he was able to step up. Hurley got that one on the ground and, you know, got him in a 2nd and 10 situation. Again, long yardage, they have to come up with a play.
I think it's kind of what we talked about early on. You don't have a Deontay Jackson. You can't practice against that, but now they're starting to get used to the athleticism, the speed, and the size, and they're starting to adjust a little bit. Gordon to throw. This time Jackson has it. He's hit hard. Very nice hit by Hurley, but it's a pickup of close to 10, maybe even 11 yards, and they are going to move the chains. It's an 11-yard pickup, the 22nd first down for Las Lomas.
That was a very good football play, though. Hurley had an opportunity to take the deep one or the short one. He covered the deep one and just came up and made a good hit on the short one.
Well, it's been a crazy first 3 quarters. Stay with us. The final 12 minutes coming up, and this has been quite a night. Las Lomas by 7.
Global warming. It's real. There's no debate. Harp seals need solid ice to survive. Yet the ice is disappearing. Despite this bleak outcome, there's an even greater threat to seals: man. Canada kills thousands of seals each year. Tell the government this hunt must end. Visit stopthesealhunt.org to take action today and help IFAW create a better world for animals and people.
Oh, hey, Mark.
Hey, Mark.
Hey.
Where have you been?
I lost my cat.
Oh, that's not right.
Yeah, so I made this cat magnet to try and get him back.
Cool. Does it work?
Kinda.
Nice.
Yeah, but that's not my cat. Gotta keep working on it. See ya.
See ya.
Anything's possible. Keep thinking. Get started on your own inventions or just play some games at inventnow.org.
For many kids, the hours after school are a time to get in trouble. But for our kids at After School All-Stars, it's a time to get ahead.
She always has a smile on her face. I made a lot of friends.
I get really excited.
I like to do art. I never thought I'd be this good at computers. Now I want to be a teacher.
It makes me happy when I can throw a boy.
At After School All-Stars, we help kids succeed in school and life.
Great school spirit here at Las Lomas. Their cheerleaders are going to have a lot to cheer about this year, that is for sure. They've got quite a football team. This ball is incomplete, in and out of the hands of Darren Thompson as we start the final 12 minutes of football here in Walnut Creek.
Rocklin Thunder couldn't ask for a better situation. You know, they're getting them again in the long yardage situations. They have to, you know, take advantage of this 2nd and 10 and try and get the ball back to their offense. You know, the coaching staff for the Thunder have to be excited about their future when you see a young quarterback come in like that and take over and play with the poise that he's playing with, and to see his team respond to him like that, it's a good sign for these guys, because these are two very, very talented football teams out here fighting, tooth and nail to get it done, and it's fun watching them play.
Gordon brings his team out of the huddle at the 43-yard line. 2nd and 10, rolling to his left, and it's intercepted, picked off. It's Kyle Garvella, who's had a huge night defensively, and he comes up with an INT.
You're going to see number 42, Casey Sabran. The quarterback didn't see him. Gordon didn't see him, lost him in his vision. And he cuts underneath and gets a hand on this route and tips it directly to Garvella. And Garvella just, finished off the old tip drill that the defensive backs do in practice every single day. That's why you do the drill.
And Rocklin has a chance to tie this football game. They take over at the Las Lomas 48-yard line. Jimmy Lacray kind of overthrew that one a little bit. I think he's starting to get a little pumped up, and that time he just let the adrenaline rush a little too strong into the right arm.
One of the few times of the night, he was, off target. So, yeah, I guess the youngsters allowed.
Yeah, really, the problem hasn't been his throws. The biggest problem has been the exchange between center and quarterback. That's cost them a couple of times tonight. Second and 10 from the Las Lomas 47-yard line. Cummings takes the pitch, trying to turn the corner. He does. Gets a block downfield and gets pushed out of bounds at the 40-yard line. It's a pickup of 8 yards, and it will bring up a big 3rd down play. Great job of holding the block. Scott Pulowski downfield, 3rd and a couple. Cummings is off the field for this play. Hurley goes in motion. Lacray to throw. Throws it behind his intended target, and it'll be 4th down. What do you think, Coach Davis? Do you go for it here on 4th down?
Yeah, you go for it, but you know what? Once once Lacray sees the film on this one, he is going to be upset with himself because he just had Holden Huff wide open for a touchdown. He decided to do the dump off and just get the ball out in the flat and get the 1st down, but he had the big play wide open. No one was covering his tight end on that last play.
Jackson Cummings is off the field right now. I'm kind of thinking they may be just trying to draw the defense offside right here. 3 receivers to the far side on 4th and 2. Again, he has trouble with the snap. Tries to shuffle the football forward, and one way or another, it's going to be Las Lomas' football.
That has been the problem. You said it. That's the center quarterback exchange. The most elementary part of football. It's causing them problems, and that caused them an opportunity to convert this 4th down play.
And they call that an incomplete pass, which is the correct call. And boy, I'm not sure. If I've got a guy like Jackson Cummings and the way he's been running the football, 4th and 2 right there, I might want that guy with his hands on the ball for the biggest play of the night. So take it the other way. Can Rocklin's defense do it again? Can they stop this high-powered Las Lomas attack? This is the drive right here. Las Lomas coaches are hoping to get the momentum back. Running play to Pomerantz, and he gets to the 42-yard line. Taken down by Casey Sabran. Pomerantz has had a nice night running the football for Las Lomas. Just another piece of the puzzle for their attack. They'll call it 2nd and 7. 49 yards running the football for Austin Pomerantz. Pomerantz straight ahead, pushed straight backwards. And you know who's on the bottom of this pile? It's Brandon Baroni. What a night he's had. Also there was Trevor Cooper, very physical guy that can stop that inside run. And they really feel like he has all league potential for this team. He's a guy that's just going to get better and better as the season goes along.
Well, you see the Rocklin defensive linemen just pushing back at the point of attack. The last two plays, the play before, David Waterhouse had an opportunity to make the stop in the backfield. He missed the tackle. This play, Baroni and Cooper were right there in the backfield again, and Baroni just fired off so hard that, I mean, he almost split the defenders from the initial snap. And that's what they have to do right now to try and stop this, juggernaut that they've been going against all night.
And Las Lomas is going to burn their second timeout of the second half. They've gone a little conservative offensively now, and I think that'll happen when Rocklin's hit them the way they have. They've come up with a couple of big plays, and right now they're just trying to get that clock rolling and hopefully put a drive together to put this away. They play another Sac Joaquin section team next week as they go to Oakmont, and then back it is after a bye week to the DFAL, Acalanes, Alhambra, and then Campolindo and Miramonte. And again, the NCS has completely changed the format of the playoffs from the old 3A, 2A, 4A. Las Lomas is a Division II school, and right now they're ranked number 2 in Division II in the North Coast section. Cardinal Newman High School, which is actually a Division III school in terms of the CIF state playoffs, has opted up. They've chosen to play up a division, so they will be in the NCS Division II, and that would be a terrific matchup if you're looking ahead. Cardinal Newman, who knocked off Central Catholic and Del Oro in their first 2 games, and is playing Palma this week. Gorton with some pressure. Markers going down. I believe it's going to be a holding call. Gorton does run for the first down, but Baroni right away was clapping his hands as he felt like he was held trying to get to the quarterback.
Well, Baroni's been firing off on the line of scrimmage so hard that they've just been having to find ways to get it done. And on there, you just see him get tackled. And Baroni did a great job of just selling it and letting the ref know, hey, man, did you see that? Throw the flag.
Holding on the offense. 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Repeat third down.
5th penalty of the night against Las Lomas. It makes it a 3rd and long. And now you can't forget about Deontay Jackson in this situation. 3rd and 19 they're going to call it. They need to get right to midfield. They're at their own 31-yard line. Gorton gets the play from Coach Longero and is now back out on the field with his team in the huddle.
Well, the Rocklin defenders better guard the sticks, because what's happening yet, because you have to pay attention to Deontay Jackson, he's spreading the defense, but he's allowing the underneath guys to just sit right down at the sticks, and they better pay attention to that.
Gorton puts it over the middle, and look at Baroni. Baroni takes him down almost immediately. They got it to Darren Thompson, but it's a gain of just 3 yards, and Las Lomas will have to punt for the first time tonight.
Well, Baroni has just taken over on this series. I mean, this is a great play right here. He read the screen, was right there, just retraced his tracks and got himself in position to make that play.
D'Amico and Cummings drop back deep. Matt Carter to punt the football for the first time tonight. Unlike most kickers in high school that play soccer, he's a rugby guy, and look out. The snap goes over his head. Carter kicks it, but has to just kick it straight out of bounds, and this is disastrous for Las Lomas. The ball will be spotted at the 19-yard line. 1st and 10, Rocklin. Oh, my goodness. We'll take a break right here. 8:47 to go. Don't go away.
As we go again round the stars and their friends, loving me, come on.
Now is the time to join together to protect our world, or we could lose all it gives us. To learn how you can help, call for your free World Wildlife Fund Action Kit at 1-800-CALLWWF. Together, we can be a force for nature.
Comcastic Labs high-speed internet field test.
Introduction of Power Boost. We never stop making fast, faster. Comcast high-speed internet with Power Boost.
Wow, what a terrific night of high school football. 38-31, the Rocklin Thunder take over after the bad snap at the Los Lomas 19-yard line. And what a story, the sophomore Jimmy Lockray trying to lead them. It's Jackson Cummings, and he gets down inside the 15-yard line. That's a gain of 6 on first down. Cummings has only carried the ball 9 times, so he's got fresh legs. They've really needed him a lot on defense tonight, but they've paced him offensively quite nicely. What a great opportunity for Rocklin. 2nd and 4 from the 14. Fake it to Cummings. Lockray on a roll. Could have kept that and probably got close to the end zone himself. Decided to throw it and threw it a little too high and incomplete. I thought for sure he was going to just tuck and go with that.
Well, after play fake, Lockray is rolling. Lockray's rolling, and he had a receiver. He just threw it a little too high. It would have been a touchdown. He decided to put it on his arm, but he just missed him. That's one of the few balls that he's been off target with, and that, you know, that was a huge one right there. He had an opportunity to make this a tie game right there.
3rd and 4, 2 to the far side, 2 to the near side. Holden Huff is in the slot, and now the Rocklin Thunder are going to burn a timeout. Rocklin still has 2 remaining. Greg Benzel, who is also the offensive coordinator here, and boy, I tell you what, he has got to be pleased with the way this young quarterback is handling himself. Their schedule gets pretty interesting. They play Vintage and then Napa. Napa, the defending Division I champion in the Sac Joaquin section, and then they're at Wood Creek, and then the big matchup, the Granite Bay game. Granite Bay right now, #1 by the Sac B, and then Oakmont, Del Oro, and Roseville. Not an easy game in the bunch right there. Yeah, I really think the addition of the CIF State Bowl format has really encouraged coaches to go out and seek tougher opponents. In past years, coaches would kind of look for easier games, fluff the record up a little bit, but now you want to have your power rating as high as possible. You want to have big wins on your resume, and you want to have a chance to go to the State Bowl Championship, which has been increased this year from 3 divisions all the way to 5 divisions, and I think it's going to be fantastic. 3rd and 4. The lone back is Cummings. The pass is complete. It's a first down. Scott Pulowski with the catch, and a big throw that time by Jimmy Lockray. It's a 10-yard pickup and the 10th first down of the night.
Yeah, rolling to his left, Rockway threw this one right on target, giving Pulaski an opportunity to catch the ball, get the first down. You know, it's really impressive the way this young sophomore is playing tonight. I mean, his first start on television, you know he was nervous, all the adversity, and he has a chance to tie this game.
1st and goal, Rocklin, a chance to tie the game. Jackson Cummings close to the end zone. It's going to be 2nd and goal, just inches short. Now, on the previous play, the ball did pop out. The whistle had blown. Been a lot of close calls like that tonight. Some have gone one way, some have gone the other, and I think pretty much everything's evened out at this point, and that we're seeing a close football game. Here it is. You make the call. Boy, I don't know. Jackson might have stripped that.
I don't know.
Give it to Cummings again. He dives over the top, and he's in. Touchdown.
Wow. This is amazing. after everything that's happened for Rocklin to come back and tie this game. Their offensive line has been creating holes, protecting the quarterback. They've made special team plays. They've made big defensive plays on the ball down the field, and they have fought themselves back into this game.
Cummings to try and tie things up. The holder is Garth Keffer. Good snap. The kick is down the middle. Clutch drive by the Rocklin Thunder after the high snap. We've seen some big plays here in this second half. Let's take a look at those. What a night of high school football.
Well, you're going to see Gordon right here just finding his way into the end zone. Then he's doing it with his arm. Well, right here, that's an interception. That was a big, huge interception that started things off and got them back into the game. Big play right there on fourth down where they couldn't get it. And then right here, you're going to see Rocklin find a way to get back into the end zone, tie the game. Look at the crowd. You know, and that's Rocklin's side. They're shocked.
I tell you what, this has been pretty amazing. If you'd have told me the way things started that we'd be sitting at 38-38 with 6:54 to go, I think I'd have told you were a little bit crazy. Does not compute, but here we are nonetheless. Less than 7 minutes to decide this one. Sac Joaquin section versus North Coast section. It's the first time these teams have ever played each other, and this time they kick it deep, and look at this, it rolls out of bounds at the 15-yard line.
Well, this, you know, earlier we saw an extremely smart play on special teams by Stephen Hurley. And right here, you know what, that's just one of those plays, well, where Delfani is just trying to make a play, but he has to understand where he is on the field, because if he doesn't touch that ball, it probably goes out of bounds, and they get the ball in much better field position. And right now, at this point in the game, field possession is king. I mean, field position. That's king right now. You want to have the ball with an opportunity to score some points, because this game right here is a nail-biter.
Gordon has had a huge night. He's in trouble. He goes down, back inside the 5-yard line. The sack. Elliott Thompson. What a play by Thompson.
Well, Rocklin's front seven has just decided to just go after him. You know, the coaches were looking all night. They've been trying to dial something up and see what would work, and they just decided to put the pressure on them. These guys are coming downhill hard now, and they're really, really creating some problems for Gordon back there.
Well, can Las Lomas get it back, get their confidence back? They look like they just could do no wrong, and everything has turned around in this football game. Now they put Jackson in the backfield. 2nd and 19 from the 5-yard line. Gordon to throw out of the end zone. It's incomplete. Thompson cannot hang on. It's 3rd and long.
Well, the momentum has completely shifted. And right now, you know, Rocklin, they are coming after Las Lomas. They're hitting hard. They're going after the quarterback. And he's trying to get the ball out of his hands right now on that play, because, you know, before he was finding the open guy, he was taking his time, you know, just being methodical back there. And right now he's dropping back and making up his mind and saying, I just got to get it out of my hand, because he's been hit a few times.
And how about that guy, Brandon Baroni? That's a football player right there. If they had all Madden team in high school, he'd be on it.
He'd be on mine. Definitely.
3rd and 19. Gordon out of the end zone again. Incomplete. They'll have to punt out of their own end zone now.
And again, right now, you're seeing the guys getting lost in coverage. Kevin Flagg was able to get his hands on there before Gordon was reading the defense. The receivers were spacing themselves out and sitting down in the holes. But right now, Rocklin's flying around, and, you know, and they're just moving a little faster. They're getting a step closer. They figured it out. They figured out the pace. They figured out the timing, and they're able to make plays.
Now they cannot afford a bad snap here. It's a better one this time. He gets it off. Cummings lets it drop, and they'll get great field position as it only trickles out to the 36-yard line. Fantastic. Well, if you want to check out more about what's going on and you'd like to contact us, ask us some question, or make some comments about our coverage here on Comcast, go to Comcast_hometownsports@cable.comcast.com. We'd love to hear from you. And I'll tell you what, this is fun. This is great on a Friday night. Watching a high school football game like this, and what a story this Rocklin Thunder team is. Here comes Jackson Cummings trying to break one, and he gets down to the 26-yard line, close to a first down. 75 yards on the ground for Jackson Cummings.
Well, the junior running back showed tremendous patience on this play, just picking through. You see the vision, you see the balance, and he just picked his way through that hole and was able to get almost got a first down on that run.
Just under 5 minutes to go now. Pump fake. Pass through the hands. Pulowski, the intended receiver. He's a 6', 161-pound junior.
That has to make this catch. His quarterback put it right on his numbers, and he has to make this catch.
20th pass attempt of the night right there for the sophomore Jimmy Lockray. It's 3rd and short. If they don't get the first down right here, I don't know. This could be just about out of Cummings' field goal range. They say he's nails from 30 in. He hit one from 31. Here he comes. Won't have to make that decision as Cummings busts it down to the 15-yard line. 12-yard run. And a first down. They kind of horse-collared him to get him down. I don't know if they caught the face mask or not. We'll see if we can see it on the replay.
Well, Jackson Cummings, he saw a hole and just burst through it. And you know what? That was a horse collar, and Tyler Townsend had no choice. You know what? Take the flag and not let him get in the end zone. But there was no flag call.
Lockray to throw, looking for Pulowski deep in the end zone. It's incomplete, but a nice job of Lockray to put that where at least the other team couldn't get it. Rocklin going for it here. And now they are pretty close to what I would consider decent field goal range for Jackson Cummings. From this spot of the field, it would be about a 33, 32-yarder, and he hit one from 31 earlier and had plenty of distance on it. You know, the last thing they want to do is leave Las Lomas time on the clock. 4:28 to play here in Walnut Creek. Movement. And Morgan Breslin jumped. Was he drawn off? I don't think so.
Coachman on the defense. 5-yard penalty.
6th penalty of the night on Las Lomas. Pulowski out to the near side, Huff to the far side. 2 backs with Lockray. Jackson Cummings, and they hang on to him. Cummings to the 8-yard line. Tommy Knott made the tackle. He's a 3-year starter here at Las Lomas on defense.
I'll be interested to see if they take a shot to the end zone. You know, right here, they hand the ball off to Cummings on the 2nd and 5 play, which is an interesting call because you're already in field goal range. You know, so I'm going to see if they're going to try and take a shot to the end zone and try and get 7 points.
3rd down and a long 2. Jackson Cummings. It will be close. It will depend on the spot. Lucas Morello made a nice hit. And it is going to need a measurement, I believe.
Well, that's a big-time play right there by Morello. He stepped up into the A-gap and just denied him the first down, and he put the decision on the Rocklin coaching staff right now. Are you going to go for it, or are you going to kick the field goal and give it back to our offense with a lot of time on the clock?
They're not going to measure this, which surprises me because it looks, from my angle, it looks pretty doggone close to being a first down. They needed to get to the 6. The ball's spotted close to the 5, and now Rocklin is going to take a timeout with 3:05 to go. They have 1 left. Well, big decision right here. Do you kick the field goal, take the lead, and leave 3:05 to Las Lomas?
That's why I'm still going back to that 2nd and 5 play. I mean, you got the penalty. You really had a waist down on that one. And I'm shocked that they didn't take a shot because we talked about it. You're in field goal range. Why not take a shot at the end zone and try and get the extra 4 points? Because now you put yourself in, now they're having that same conversation on 4th down. When you had an opportunity on 2nd down to say, hey, if we don't get it now, we can try and run it. We can try to do it on the 3rd. You still would have been in the same situation. But, again, I'm no coach. I just play one up here in the press box. It's easy from up here.
Yes, it is. 4th and 1. Do they go for 3 or do they go for 6? It looks like they are going to go for the field goal. Garth Keffer is on the field. It will be a 22-yard attempt, a little bit longer than an extra point for Jackson Cummings. Rocklin to try to take their first lead of the night. And it is right down the middle. Jackson Cummings gives the Thunder the lead, 41-38 with 3:01 to play. Oh, my goodness. Hold on to your hat. It's Deontay Jackson time. Las Lomas will try and go for the win when we come back.
So many kids' activities today seem to leave out the activity part. New research tells us that just getting children to walk an extra 35 minutes a day could spare them the pain of thinning bones later in life. Encourage your kids to get up, get out, and get moving.
Hello. Hey, Grandma, how about another grape soda?
For more advice on how kids can build strong bones, visit AAOS.org, a public service message from the American Academy of Orthopedic Surgeons.
Guys, you had to know this was coming.
Actually, we feel blindsided. We just weren't expecting you to block us.
Well, after last week's episode, what am I going to do? There are children in this house, Marcelo. You tell me you're all going to go straight and start acting like kittens? Stop shivving each other in the prison yard?
Shanking.
What?
It's a verb. To shank.
Look, I'm not asking you to change your ways. I'm just blocking you so the kids can't see. Now, who wants lemonade?
So here we go. It's 3 minutes and 1 second left in a 41-38 football game. Again, these teams have never played each other, so they're getting used to each other, and I imagine the tapes they exchanged maybe didn't have all their good stuff on it, but holy smokes, what a football game! Imagine now they're in a situation where they might say, I don't know if we want to play those guys again. That was too crazy. And Rocklin's going to take a timeout. They kind of wanted to see the alignment, seeing it was Deontay Jackson that went back deep that I think got coach's attention because they were probably going to go for the deep kick. Now they might rethink that and go for that little short pooch kick that they've used a lot of the time tonight. Lyle West is the special teams coach here at Rocklin. And boy, he's got to get one of the game balls. A couple of big plays in the first half, or this probably would have been a blown out. If they hadn't got that kick return for the touchdown and then recovered the fumble on the ensuing kickoff, this would have been a whole different night.
That completely changed the game. You're right. They were out of it. They could do nothing offensively. Defensively, they didn't make a stop. And those two plays completely changed the game.
Las Lomas High School program.
Las Lomas has one timeout to work with. And that man right there, Deontay Jackson on the field. Jackson Cummings. Squib kick and a beauty. Look at this. It goes all the way down inside the 10 and finally goes out of bounds. So Las Lomas will get it on the 35-yard line, 65 yards away from taking the lead. Their kicker, Matt Carter, is good from about 45 in. He's got a very explosive leg. So if they get an opportunity to tie it with a long field goal, he's the kind of guy you want on the field.
So for them to get any opportunity to kick a
Okay,
field
we had a
goal.
kick out of bounds. Ball's going to be taken at the 35, first down.
Yeah, for Las Lomas to get an opportunity to kick the ball, to get any field goal, to get this ball in the end zone, they better concern themselves with blocking now, number 57, Brandon Baroni. Because for the last few series, he's just been unblockable for them.
Putting on pressure, they're looking for Deontay Jackson. Jackson has it, tries to get out of bounds, and does very wisely near the 40-yard line. It's a pickup of just 6 yards. That's his 11th catch of the night. $175 yards receiving. 19th completion for Lucas Gordon.
You know, Garvell did a good job of getting him on the ground there. You know, just make the tackle, let him catch it in front of you, come up, get him on the ground, you know, line up.
Gordon to the air. Thompson, I don't think he got the first down. Nice job by Ben Holland. Holland, who has a wrist brace. He's been playing with it all season. And he got him and brought him down just short of the first down. 20th completion for Gordon of the night. 3rd and inches. Gordon to the air. Deontay Jackson has it, splits the defense. Jackson Cummings trying to hang on for dear life and drags him down at the 17-yard line. $38 yards and a first down.
Well, Gordon caught him with the linebacker trying to cover Deontay Jackson, and he saw the mismatch and just hit him with the hot route. And after that, it was just Jackson doing what he does. He was running down the field, making plays. You know, it was a 3rd and short, and I think they were expecting a running play or a quarterback sneak or something like that, and that's why they had the coverage out there on him, not expecting it to be run, not expecting it to be a pass play, and they paid dearly for it.
Over 200 yards receiving now for Deontay Jackson. Las Lomas. This pass complete, touchdown! Wow. They finally get it back together, and they go down the field quickly. Darren Thompson with the touchdown. 334 yards passing for Lucas Gordon.
Great design on the play. They put Deontay Jackson in the slot, and they swung him out wide, which made the inside coverage chase him outside, and then they just allowed Thompson to cut inside. He was wide open. There was no defenders in the middle of the field, and Gordon was able to just throw it right in there to him in stride to get the touchdown.
Now, this is a very important extra point, because if they make this, Rocklin will not be able to tie the game with a field goal. And the kick is good by Carter. 2:05 to go. The lead is 4 for Las Lomas as back and forth we go here in Walnut Creek.
We said at the top that these were two really good football teams. And, you know, proud programs, you know, solid football teams, coaching staffs as well, and we're seeing it tonight. I mean, you know, the guys from Rocklin had to fight through all sorts of adversity to get back into this game. You saw the momentum switch, and now you see Las Lomas finding a way to come down when they had to take the lead at home on their field, and, you know, it's just great football.
Yeah, boy, that was clutch for Gordon, because he had a couple really tough possessions. They had sputtered They were kind of going conservative. They were trying to sit on the lead. That strategy didn't work. They had to go back to their A game and get it down the field, and they did.
Yeah, I mean, that was great play call and great execution. I mean, because the play design totally opened up the middle of the field, and Gordon knew that was happening. He read it, he took his time and saw it, and he delivered a strike right inside to his tight end. And, you know, that was great coaching, great execution by the players.
Hurley and D'Amico back deep. They've actually switched sides. They'll go with the low kick. And Rocklin will take over at the 37. Ben Holland bringing that out. No timeouts remaining for Rocklin. The sophomore quarterback trying to pull off, I guess you'd have to call it another miracle. There's been several of them pulled off tonight by Rocklin just to be in the football game, to take the lead late in the fourth quarter. Now they trail again with 1:58 to go. Las Lomas coaches screaming, yelling, pointing, trying to get a guy off the field. They do. Jimmy Lockray, back to pass. Pressure, lets it fly deep. Deontay Jackson runs it down. Jackson still on his feet. Lockray forces him out of bounds, but Jackson ran under that deep ball.
Well, right there, you could definitely tell that Deontay Jackson is a receiver, because he ran under this deep ball as though it was thrown to him. I mean, you know, great catch. I mean, full extension, put the game basically. He basically they have an opportunity to end the game right there. I mean, that was the biggest play of the night. You know, after the touchdown drive, he came back first play and was able to get the deep ball. He ran it down, and look at that full extension. You know, those are great hands. That's why all these teams are after him to play wide receiver, because catches like that, you know, he shows it. You know, you put him on the defensive side of the ball, and he's able to make those plays. And, you know, he's the biggest guy back on that back end, one of the fastest out there, and, you know, and great hands. We saw it on that play.
He's had 20 college scholarships offered to him. He's narrowed it down to Colorado, Oregon, Arizona State as the front runners, but it's a guy you're going to hear a lot about in the future. He's for real. Gordon to a knee. Jackson a little tired now.
Well, he had a ball game tonight. A lot of weapons on that offense. You know, he's definitely you know, the star out there, but you know what, that quarterback is a trigger man. He's getting it to, he has a lot of weapons. He's getting it to all of those guys, spreading it out, and you know, that's a great offensive ball club.
And your hat has got to go off to the Rocklin team. I mean,
yeah.
They overcame a lot of adversity tonight, and they had it within their grasp at the end of the game, which is really all you can ask in a game like this, and it just got away.
Well, you know what, the cliche definitely holds true tonight. This is one of those games that you hate that one of the clubs had to lose.
And we go under 40 seconds now. Saw some terrific performances in this football game. Jackson Cummings had a great game for the Rocklin Thunder. Very impressed with Brandon Baroni, their defensive player, and Stephen Hurley did some great things. Holden Huff, all the big players for Rocklin showed up, as well as Las Lomas, although Marquise Waters only carried the ball 7 times tonight. Lucas Gordon had a terrific game, and Thompson and Jackson were hot. Pomerantz made some big plays. It was just a terrific effort for both of these teams, a great team effort for both of these teams.
Well, you know what, both of these guys, as the season goes on, you have to expect both of these ball clubs to win a lot of games and put themselves in position, in strong position for the playoffs. These are two solid football teams. And, you know, first time they ever play one another, it's a lot that they don't know about each other. We discussed it, that they don't give all the information to each other. You know, they make it difficult, and as the game went on, they figured one another out, and we saw some great football tonight.
Yeah, we did. Well, they've run the clock all the way down to 13 seconds. It is 4th down, so they will have to snap it one more time. First they were maybe going to snap the ball. Now I think they've decided, let's just punt this thing away. They're probably going to ask Gordon to maybe run around, see if he can kill 12 seconds. And now they're going to punt the football, which means Rocklin's going to get at least one more touch. And Rocklin's scrambling to get the punt return team out on the field. D'Amico, who's already returned one kick for a touchdown tonight. Does he have another one in him? Low snap. Carter's kick bounces in front of D'Amico, and now he picks it up way back near the 5-yard line, and he goes down at about the 11. Zeros on the clock, and that will do it. Wow, what an exhausting game just to watch. Can't even imagine how the players feel. But Las Lomas comes away with a hard-earned victory, 45-41. We saw 86 points on the board tonight. That was good stuff.
That was a good football game. You know, that's great high school football, hard fought, and these guys definitely earned the win tonight. And your heart has to go out to the Rocklin Thunder.
Yeah, you definitely saw a little bit of everything in this one. A very emotional roller coaster, and Las Lomas ends up with a victory. Hang on, we'll be right back and meet some of the players that made this happen tonight after this.
Every year, mothers lose their babies to gun crimes. You'll always be your mother's baby. So before you commit a gun crime, think about who you'll leave behind. Gun crimes hit home.
Watch Comcast Hometown, local programming you won't find anywhere else. Catch the excitement and competition of local high school sports, events from around Northern California, and shows that enlighten, entertain, and keep you connected to your community.
His preferred mode of transportation is a customized scooter.
There are billions of dollars being spent.
Comcast Hometown, your hometown, exclusively on Comcast.
Wow, what a night. 45-41. Roller coaster ride, to say the least. Las Lomas got up big. Rocklin came back and took the lead, and then it was Las Lomas in the end. Let's check in with Cheyenne and meet some of the players.
Thanks, Dave. We're here with Lucas, the quarterback. What a game you guys had tonight against Rocklin. You had to hit a lot of key players tonight to get this victory.
Yeah, it was, I don't know, it was more of a team effort. I mean, I give it out to my line. I give it out to all my receivers. They did a great job. I'm amazed at how we played.
Well, one of those key players was Deontay Jackson. Deontay, you talked to me on the sidelines. You told me you were sick, but you're still able to make that interception to lead to that big drive to get you guys that winning touchdown.
Yes, ma'am. I haven't been to school in the past 2 days, and I knew I had to come here Friday and pick it up and, brush it off for my team. And so I thank my quarterback, Lucas Gordon, and our whole offensive line and everybody else for helping me get open, because without the team, I wouldn't be here.
Well, you guys had a great game. Congratulations on your victory. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Cheyenne. Yeah, pretty good for not feeling well. That was one of the things that Doug Longero mentioned to me before the game, that a lot of their guys hadn't been feeling well. And, boy, they sucked it up here tonight with a 45-41 win for Las Lomas. Rocklin, great job tonight. You know, they're a team that is definitely going to make some noise in their league this year. Two terrific teams here tonight. Well, that is going to do it for our coverage here tonight. Hope you have enjoyed it. It was all Las Lomas early. Then Rocklin made things interesting at the end, actually took the lead before Deontay Jackson got his team back down the field and then came up with the final interception. Hope you've enjoyed our coverage here tonight. A 45-41 win for Eric Davis, Cheyenne, Balderrama. I'm Dave Cox saying goodbye from Las Lomas High School. We'll see you again next week right here on Comcast.
And off again to number.
Well, I think it's everyone's mind. They got to want to know, Coach, is Jimmy coming back tonight?
We're going to...